stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Death to life. Death to life. He did it. Death to life. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Apply pressure, but I'm not trying to force it. Down bad before me and mine's courtship. Circling the sun, that's a different type of orbit. And I fell on my face, but it must have been the Lord's gift. After that, I went from death to life. Only one time he ever said to test him right. The best replies to testify. He conquered it all. He conquered my fall in his presence. Why? I went from death to life. Now there's no reason to be stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Death to life. Death to life. He did it. Death to life. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? John 5:24 and it reads, I tell you the truth, whoever listens and believes in God who sent Christ will have eternal life. No condemnation, they cross from death to life. No life to death, no walking dead. I'd rather walk the talk and shine my light instead. Who can ideate the darkest Friday would have transformed to this new life inside me? Cause Sunday came, I went from death to life. Now there's no reason to be stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? I went from death to life. Now there's no reason to be stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Death to life. To life. To life. To life. Death to life. To life. Death to life. Death to life. To life. To life. To life. To life. Death to life.
We are live! Hey yo, before you come in, take your shoes off. Get your super chats ready. Your questions are getting answered live. But first, shout out to the patrons and the channel members. Check it out, never miss the after party again. Sign up right now on Patreon for as little as $5 a month and access every replay. Put it in the budget. I'm telling you, we are essential. Y'all already know what time it is. Welcome to the after party with Ruslan.
Ruslan.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We're live. And I need you, yes, you, to drop your location in the chat. I need you, yes, you, to let me know where you are watching this at. We have the premium partners on Patreon. We have the mods, and we have you all the way live from Kansas City, Florida, Kentucky, Albania, Minnesota, Alabama, Tulsa, Honolulu, Houston, San Marcos, Dallas, Texas, Trinidad, Anaheim, California, Spain, Manchester. Ladies and gentlemen, we we're live. And we have Zach Speranzo.
Wow. It's great to be here. No place I'd rather be than here with you and me.
I wish I had something more profound to say.
My bad.
Matter of fact, this is it. Okay.
My bad tagline.
Before this world would ever know. All right.
Wow, we have people from all over.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down.
Everybody. What's the last part of that line? London,
Everybody's
Richmond, Scotland. You quoting a little Kendrick for us?
Yep.
A little bit of Kendrick Lamar. AKA, I'm Kendrick Lamar. AKA, Benz is to me just a car. That's a Kendrick Lamar rhyme.
I kind of like that.
I'm Kendrick
Do you hate
Lamar.
that, or do you like that?
You know,
Benz to me is just a car. It's kind of minimalist. I like it. It's like, hey man, it's just a car.
AKA, Benz is to me just a car. So funny.
Well, do we have a stream for you guys today?
Do we? All right, what do you want to open with? Because I got a rant I could do, but we can go wherever you want to go.
Well, do we want to open up with a fire rant, or do we want to open with something kind of lighthearted?
What do you guys think?
What's the chat feeling?
What's
Lighthearted
the chat feeling? Chat.
Spicy rant?
Spicy.
Spicy. A sriracha rant.
A sriracha. By the way, there's a slight delay in them seeing us in the chat. It's less like
Because the 4K.
because of 4K.
How much?
Probably a couple seconds. About to get a Bleach Buzz thoughts. Okay, your Kanye and Joel comment is definitely going to get clipped from that last video. What did I say about Kanye and Joel? Didn't I say something like Kanye preached repentance more than Joel did? Pull up the transcript of the last video. I'm curious. And listen, at this point, we have
long
made
been canceled. We've made all
habit.
the comments we're gonna say that are gonna get us canceled.
We've made a habit of these things. So, someone said spicy. Shout out to Crystal from Vista. Okay, yeah, go to the transcript and see which part. Are you talking about from the main channel video or from the
Or is it a second channel?
which video? You gotta be specific, chat. You got my attention for
we're just talking all the
30
time.
second. You gotta give me something versus something vague. Like what are we even talking about? I don't know. This okay.
Been in the green room.
Okay, so let's look. What is he saying? Oh, that I used to listen to Joel when I listened to Paul Washer? You got to be specific. Where's this guy at? This dude disappeared. It's actually a good segue, though. It's a good segue into the topic.
That's true. There you go.
Okay. So I gave a super chat and somehow moved down the leadership board. What are you talking about, Josh? What's super chat?
What's a leadership board?
What is a leadership board?
Are y'all playing games in the chat? We don't
No,
know.
I think it's the new little number 1, number 2, number 3 thing that they just rolled us. Thanks to Josh for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. I don't know what that means. You moved down. Yeah, he's on the road to redemption once again. Yeah, I hope so. Happy Dino month. My brothers and sisters, I have to sleep and leave this cutesy cuties. Bye, guys. Shout out to Apostolic from Armenia. I have to hit it like that. All right. All right, how do we? Yay is on the road. Okay. We'll come back to the yay thing. Okay. So, number 1. Okay. If you guys haven't been keeping up, there is an online community that has a good degree of backlash towards the likes of the prosperity gospel and some folks that flow into like the health, new thought gospel. And I think there is a time and a place to call out both. However, in my opinion, I think the overflow of both of these movements is in a lack of biblical literacy. This is what I mean. So let me first define the prosperity gospel and define the new thought gospel before I go any further, and then we'll look at a little bit of scripture and kind of some thoughts in this. Okay, so when I say the prosperity gospel, I am specifically talking about if you come to Jesus, your life will be peaches. Okay? Everything will be sweet. And not only will it be sweet, but you will get access to money and you will get access to God's blessings and your life will be more comfortable. You give to get. You sow a seed, you get money back. So tithing is super emphasized. Giving is super emphasized. Sowing seeds is emphasized. And it's the idea that you give to get. Now, there's an overlap with the prosperity gospel because it's generally like, if you follow God, you will be prosperous.
Yes.
Monetarily and within your health and wealth, right? There's also an overlap with the prosperity gospel to the new thought gospel. Maybe a bit less emphasis on things like money, but still generally speaking, the idea that when you follow Jesus, you will be fully healthy. And so they'll take stuff like the word salvation and they will say the word salvation means fully healed, misunderstanding that the word salvation is also is about salvation here and now in the sense of justification, being saved in the sense of sanctification, and also the future glory we'll have in heaven where we will have new bodies, right? So they'll take that word and they'll say, see, this word, it also means full healing and restoration. So prosperity gospel, I would categorize someone like a Joel Osteen in there.
Yep.
I will categorize, in terms of like the New Thought gospel, which there is some overlap with, I would categorize like Bethel in there.
Yes.
In some of the New Thought gospel, you also have things like your thoughts are things, your words make your worlds. And there's overlap. They kind of flow into each other, right? Now, the tricky part is when you listen to some of this stuff, they're quoting scripture. And not all of it is false. Just the foundational principles aren't accurate in the sense that they're universally applicable or generally applicable to most people.
Gotcha.
You believe in God, he'll give you your wildest dreams. You believe in God, he'll instantly heal you and he'll make you healthy.
Yes.
These are inconsistent concepts from the scriptures. Because when you read the scriptures, you see things like God's people suffering.
Yes.
You see things like sometimes there will be trouble. Matter of fact, Jesus says there will be trouble in this life. Jesus says there will be, if they persecuted me, they're going to persecute you.
Yeah.
Right? And so these things have to be held in tension. And so what happens is the prosperity gospel sprouts up, the New Thought gospel sprouts up, and there's a disconnect. And I think it is good to address some of these things.
Yes.
I think the work that Mike Wingard is doing is good. I think the work that some of, not all, but the discernment ministries that are calling some of this stuff out is good. However, I think if you are just pointing people away from something that is false and not pointing them to anything that is true, where do you leave people with? So we could all lock arms in kumbaya and say prosperity gospel is not true. You can't just believe your way to more things. You can't just believe your way to healing. That yes, God can and does heal, but sometimes he doesn't heal.
Yeah.
That yes, God can send you money and manna from heaven, but sometimes that's not how it plays out.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the warnings in scripture against chasing money and acquiring wealth, especially too early in life. So there's a tension there. So again, the part that's inconsistent is that the scriptures do have a lot to say on money. There's also the parables of Jesus, where he spends, I want to say, like 1 out of every 4, every 5 parables is about finances.
Yeah.
And there's principles that Jesus is extracting. There's also principles in the Proverbs. And it all needs to be read in context together. People love to go to 1 Timothy 6. The love of money is a root, by the way, a root, not the root, but a root to all sorts of evil.
Come on.
And then they'll miss 1 Timothy 5, which talks about he who does not provide for his needs is worse than a non-believer and is not to faith. Excuse me, he who does not provide for the needs of his family, specifically his immediate family, is worse than a non-believer and is denied the faith.
Yeah.
And you think those two things are there on purpose and they're holding tension. So, one of the things that I hope to speak more into is this idea of what does biblical financial literacy look like? And if we live out God's wisdom in these different areas, perhaps we can avoid these false teachings around these things and also prevent some of the downfalls of not living God's way. So I'll give you an example. Instead of praying and asking God for a miracle when your blood pressure is too high, your cholesterol is too high, you're obese like 40% of Americans, you're overweight like 70% of Americans. Instead of praying for a miracle, what if we applied God's wisdom and God's ways to say, wait a minute, my body's actually not my own. According to 1 Corinthians, my body is a temple of the living God.
Come on.
So therefore, what I eat and how I move or how I don't move and what I watch and what I consume and who I'm around and the way I navigate with my physical body in this life actually matters. So I can't put junk in the temple of God. I can't put junk in my body because that's not honoring God. In the same way.
Walk before miracle.
Say again?
It's a new merch drop. Take a walk before you need a miracle.
Take a walk before you need a miracle. And so what happens is, again, is my opinion, is that sometimes we're praying for miracles in areas that could have been prevented had we just applied God's ways to them.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. So you need this new thought. My thoughts are things. My words create my worlds. But you haven't been diligent and faithful with your body that God gave you. So now you need a miracle.
Come on.
But had you actually had the biblical literacy of what it means to take care of your body the way God intended it to be taken care of, not eating processed foods, not eating the typical American diet, not sitting down all day, actually going outside, getting sunlight, moving, perhaps lifting something heavy, perhaps considering how people have always eaten, which is not moving from any fad diet. I'm avoiding carbs, I'm avoiding fats, I'm avoiding meat. I'm just eating meat, right? But how have we always eaten? Perhaps if we apply that, then we would need less prayers of miracles for our physical breakthroughs. Generally speaking, there's always going to be the person that eats right, does all the things, and tragically gets cancer. There's going to be people that do all the right things and get hit by a bus. But that is the exception to the rule. So let's talk about finances.
Come on, somebody.
Generally speaking, if someone lives out God's wisdom for finances, specifically the Proverbs and a lot of the teachings of Jesus, be faithful, be generous, be useful. These are principles. They're not promises, they're principles.
Yep.
Live on less than what you make. Avoid debt. And if you're in debt, get out of debt as quickly as possible. Save. Invest. If we did those things, perhaps we wouldn't need to constantly be praying for money because you can't make your rent or you can't make your light bill.
Come on, somebody.
Now, people will say, well, what about the verses of persecution? And I would say, you think people who are financially literate and taking care of their bodies aren't facing persecution? You think people that are living out God's ways in their finances aren't experiencing some? You think godly Christian men who are running billion-dollar businesses or million-dollar businesses aren't experiencing persecution? You think their life is just peaches?
Come on.
There's levels to these sorts of things. And so what happens is people will default to the prosperity gospel or the new thought gospel because there's not a lot of other alternatives. Because we read these scriptures and it seems like God kind of cares about my needs being met. And it seems like there's a standard to not just care for my family, but my extended family. But goodness gracious, most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans are overweight. Most Americans are struggling. Yet there's entire passages about this stuff. There's wisdoms, there's gems in the scriptures about everything we're talking about. And so these heresies creep in, these false teachings creep in because people just want to be told that God will just magically do it all for you, ignoring that we live in a cause and effect universe that God has set up, that if you, again, go back to finances, live on less than what you make, if you save, if you are generous, if you become more useful to your employer by developing useful skills, if you apply the things of God, well then we will experience a degree of breakthrough.
Come on.
This is not about being comfortable. Everything I just described is extremely uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, everything I just described is actually the pathway to suffering. You just think that suffering means I'm going to bury my talents and do nothing with my life. Jesus says, occupy till I come, according to Luke. Jesus says, do business with the things I've given you until I come. I'll prove it to you. There's a scripture for it. There's a scripture for it.
He didn't actually say that, did he?
There's a scripture for it. Go to Luke 19 for me. I think you went too far.
I thought we would have it highlighted.
That's it. It'll pull up the KJV too.
Okay, cool. Bum, 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 bum.
All right, you there?
Yep.
Okay, it's
Somewhere
12,
in here.
verse 12.
Oh, verse 12.
Okay, then give me the NIV. Give me the NIV. I'm going to read the NIV to you, and then I'll read you the KJV. All right, here we go. So check this out. He said, a man of noble birth went to a distant country to have himself appointed king and then to return. So he called 10 of his servants and gave them 10 minas. Put this to work, he said, until I come back. Okay. Minas are bags of gold.
Yeah, put this money to work.
Yeah, put this money to work until I come back. But his subjects hated him and sent a delegation after him to say, we don't want this man to be our king. He must be made king, however, and return home. Then he sent for the servants to whom he had given the money in order to find out what they had gained with it. He gave them resource. He left and he came back to see what they have gained with it. The first came and said, sir, your mina has earned 10 more. Well done, my good servant. His master replied, because you have been trustworthy in a very small matter, take charge of 10 cities. The second came and said, sir, your mina has earned 5 more. His master answered, you take charge of 5 cities. Then another servant came and said, sir, here's your mina. I have kept it laid away in a piece of cloth. I was afraid of you because you are a hard man. You take what you did not put in and reap what you did not sow. His master replied, I will judge you by your own words, you wicked servant. You knew, did you, that I am a hard man, taking out what I did not put in and reaping what I did not sow? Why then did you put my money on deposit so that when I came back, I could have collected it with interest? Then he said to those standing, take his mina away from him and give it to the one who has 10 minas. Sir, they said, he already has 10. He replied, I tell you that to everyone who has, more will be given. But as far as the one who has nothing, even what they have will be taken away. But those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me. Okay, so
cooking.
The master in this story is Jesus. The servants in this story are us. The money in this story is resource, time, talent, and treasure.
Wow.
Okay, so in the KJV, he says, verse 13, occupy till I come. In the NIV, in verse 13, he says, called them and he says, put this money to work until I come back. Okay, so this isn't just about money, but money is not used in a negative sense in this parable, right? So this is a very challenging passage, and it's not one where business is demonized.
Come on.
It's not one where money is demonized. Mm-hmm. It's not one where work and diligence and having a plan is demonized. It's not one where leverage is demonized because they're investing, right? They're putting it to work.
Come on.
And the master he reaps where he didn't sow. That means he gave resource to someone else to go and actually plant the garden, right? Now, I got another passage for you guys. And by the way, I could do this all day. Go to Jeremiah chapter 29. I'm just giving you guys just the bare bones, okay? The talents are the vehicle to put forward the gospel.
Yep.
They're not the gospel themselves. So someone teaching you the talents are the gospel is wrong. The talents are the time, the talent, the resource, the relationships. Those are the things. So the talents are not the gospel. Whoever told you that is wrong.
That's
the
correct. Talents
in Matthew 29, when he tells this parable in 29, is actually the vehicle of being faithful. And then in Matthew 29, it goes right into caring for the least of these. So there's resource that we have been given and that we are to care for the least of these. So then somebody will say, well, what about the starving children in China? Is that our context? Are we in a communist nation? Are we in a nation that is persecuting Christians? Are we in a nation that is making it difficult for you to be a Christian? Or that is not our context. No, but check this out. Even if we were, check out the commands for when the children of Israel were in exile. This is under Babylonian occupation. Okay, and the children of Israel under Babylonian occupation. Think about this for a second. This is not like, it's not peaches, fam. It's not cool. It's not good. This is under Babylonian occupation. And this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says to all those I carried into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. Okay, so this is bad. They're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
This is the children of Israel in a bad spot. They're down bad. Check out what he says. Build houses and settle down. Plant gardens and eat what they produce.
Come on.
Okay, so what are those two things implying? One, you got to be diligent because you can't build houses if you don't have any sort of skill.
Yeah.
Right? So this requires working with your hands, being diligent, understanding probably a degree of construction of all those aspects, and then plant gardens. Gardens produce something for you. When you plant something, it doesn't yield a harvest tomorrow. It yields a harvest in the next season.
Come on.
So build houses, plant gardens, and eat what they produce. Okay? Marry and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage. So many Christians are not thinking multi-generationally.
Yeah.
And here the children of Israel are in occupation, in Babylon. They're in exile. They're not in Jerusalem anymore. And he's telling them, think multi-generationally. Marry and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage so that they too may have sons and daughters. How many generations is this, fam?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And what are we? You hit me with a gem the other day where you said you don't really know what it's like to have grandkids and grandparents and how influential they are. And I was like, yo, you're right. I don't.
Yeah.
This is that. This is a multi-generational impact of God's ways going forward.
Yep.
Right? How many of us are thinking multi-generationally? Right? Increase in number there, do not decrease. Increase under occupation, do not decrease. Also, seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have called you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you will prosper. Yes, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. Do not let the prophets and diviners among you deceive you. Okay, so now let's look at this word, prospers. So we're called to pray to the Lord for it. Pray to the areas that we're called to, right? Seek peace and prosperity of the city which I have called you. So if we go to prosperity, completeness, soundness, welfare, peace. Prosperity is not just about finances.
Come on.
It's to seek the welfare, the state of health, right? So we see this and we wonder, hey, it's not fair that people are starving in parts of the world. One, is that your context? Is that your context? Because here's the deal. Perhaps God gave you an able body and a sound mind so that you can be faithful with the time, talent, and treasure so you can send resources to parts of the world that don't have clean drinking water.
Yeah.
Perhaps you have a little machine in your pocket that you're watching this on.
Hello.
That has given you access to a little thing called YouTube where you can go and learn almost any skill under the sun. And then there's another little app called TaskRabbit. And then you can download the TaskRabbit app and you can learn something on YouTube. And then you can go on TaskRabbit and say, hey, I have weekends free and I'm going to develop some more useful skills. And so I'm going to start doing something with my hands. And then I'm going to do the things that people with money don't want to do for themselves.
Come on.
And I'm going to start making extra money. And then I'm going to invest in some more skills. And then with this and a couple buckets of paint and a couple referrals on TaskRabbit, you develop an entire side revenue stream so that you don't have to live hand to mouth, so that you don't have to be struggling. This is exactly what one of my friends did in New York recently.
That's the playbook right there.
He went to New York, worked a couple jobs, was struggling, wanted to pursue being a stand-up comedian. And you know what he did? He got on TaskRabbit, he bought a couple buckets of paint, and now he makes $10,000 a month painting people's apartments.
And isn't he like the number?
He's like the number one guy on TaskRabbit for that thing
in that region. Yeah.
In that region.
Yeah.
So TaskRabbit is an app where you can do like handyman type stuff. You don't have to be certified. You don't have to have you just go on there and you could assemble stuff from IKEA. You could paint people's walls. You could even do more complex stuff. You could do plumbing, whatever your skill set is. And hey, I don't know if you knew this, but like assembling stuff from IKEA is not very difficult. Painting is not very
time-consuming.
difficult. It's time consuming.
Or it's tedious.
It's tedious.
Yeah. You do it once and it's done.
And then you get better at it. And I'm just giving you TaskRabbit as like the most bare bones, like almost anybody can do that
Yeah.
in almost any city.
Not to mention all the people you meet that will then pay you to do it again, but not from TaskRabbit. So they might be able to pay you more because they know you did a good job the first time, yada, yada, yada.
And I'm only using TaskRabbit as like the bare bones.
Yeah.
This is anyone can do this.
That's just like, you got a phone, you can do it.
Right?
I like it.
So you're reading scriptures about apostles that were living under Roman occupation, being beheaded,
Come on, somebody.
skinned alive,
Come on, somebody.
and then you're reading yourself into a context that you're not in because you have a rightful disdain for the prosperity gospel and the new thought gospel. I'm with you.
The Bible clearly says I can't make any money.
But perhaps
Yeah.
there is not that is not our context here today. If you're in America and you are of able body and sound mind, generally speaking,
Probably a lot closer to the parable of the talents.
probably a lot closer to the parable of the talents. So when we're talking about these things, when we're doing things like the Occupied Till I Come devotional, taking you through 60 days, when we're doing things like the Godly Ambition pre-order, which by the way, we're going to work this in to give you guys 3 chapters of the book soon, maybe by the time this video comes
So
out.
cool.
I know you guys are like, oh, Ruslan's trying to sell me something. Yeah! Because I want you to change your life!
It's $23. It's your whole life is $23.
Because I'm tired of meeting Christians that bury their talent and their time and their resources.
Yeah.
Yes! I want you to help be a part of God's kingdom here and now.
I'm fired up.
That's why I wrote the book.
Come on.
Because I go and I travel and I meet amazing people that love the Lord. But we start talking about this, and I might as well be speaking Russian to them.
Yeah.
This is just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It just goes over their head. I thought I was supposed to suffer and be poor. Joel Osteen, bad. Bill Johnson, bad. Bad. Anyone who says anything about diligence and money, bad. And the one person that does really good work on this, the one person, Dave Ramsey,
Come on.
he's kind of a boomer. And his stuff is kind of too restrictive. His views on Bitcoin and a lot of the apps that we're using now, kind of, right? A little dated.
So you're saying you're like Dave Ramsey adjacent, just for like younger and more open to like alternative. You're Dave Ramsey, but open to the blockchain.
I'm Dave Ramsey, and I don't think you should use one of his Investor Pros. I'm Dave Ramsey and think you can get the Robinhood app. I'm Dave Ramsey and think you can get Wealthfront. I'm Dave Ramsey and think that if you put $500 a month in your Roth IRA when you're 20, by the time you're 40, you will be a millionaire.
At 27, I'll be like a 900-aire.
Throw $100 into a Robinhood ETF, a Wealthfront from the age of 20 to the age of 40. Max out your Roth, you will be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right? Your net worth will be million. I'm not saying you'll have $1 million in your bank account.
Come on,
I'm saying you will have a net $1 million net worth. So I love Ramsey for the get out of debt stuff. It's brilliant, but in my opinion, I think he falls a bit short in the practical side of when I was in high school. I remember learning about mutual funds and it blew my mind. And I remember learning about the stock market and it blew my mind. And then I remember saying, well, how do I get in on this? And they were like, you need like $2,000 to get started and you need some financial manager. And I was like, well, I don't have $2,000. I'm 16. I'm 17.
Yeah.
Imagine if I was a teenager today and someone was like, oh yeah, there's this little thing called Robinhood.
Yeah.
Throw in a couple grand. You can do it right on your phone. There's this little thing called Wealthfront. Do it right on your phone. You can start a Roth IRA, $500 a month. Max that out. Had I started this stuff back then, at 17, 18, when I was asking, I didn't have these tools. Most of us didn't have these tools. We don't remember TaskRabbit. We didn't have the gig economy. We didn't have YouTube University.
Come on.
And so if I'm coming off angry, it's because I am. It's because I am angry that there is an apathetic version of you that all of society is playing into. Because you know what? Christians are oftentimes confused on this sort of stuff because it's cognitive dissonance. You don't know how to interpret scripture and let scripture interpret scripture.
Yeah.
You don't know how to read Proverbs in context of Job. You don't know how to read 1 Timothy 6 For the love of money is a root to all kinds of evil. Don't chase money. And you don't know how to read it in context of 1 Timothy 5, which says, he who does not provide for the needs of his family, specifically his immediate family, is worse than a non-believer and is denied the faith. You know what that means? That means that grandma lives with you when she's older and she can't care for herself. That means I don't expect the government to take care of my mom.
Come on, somebody.
So when you learn to read these things in context, you start saying, wait a minute. What if Satan benefits by all of these massive corporations that just want me to be a worker bee and live hand to mouth and be overweight and be sick? And then the Joel Osteens and the Bill Johnsons, they're really just like, oh, I think God wants to help you. Yes, but he is in a cause and effect reality.
Come on.
Live on less than what you make, develop useful skills, be generous, have a plan, save, invest, and generally speaking, I know there's the caveats. I know there's the guy that did all the right things and still went bankrupt. I know, but that's the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
I know there's the person that ate all the right foods, lifted 5 times a week, and tragically got cancer. That's the exception to the rule.
There's the guy that walked 5 miles a day and lost a foot.
Right. Exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, if you just look at your entire life as this is not mine, my body's not my own. My marriage is not my own. My family's not my own. My finances are not my own. My talent is not my own. But this business is not my own. These are not mine. They're on loan to me from God. I am just here to manage them. Right? And if you start living that way, then all of a sudden you'll start seeing the needle move.
Come on.
But there's a massive society, and there's a lot of folks that just want to. I don't know. It almost seems conspiratorial to keep everybody as little busy bees. You got air conditioning and shelter, and you're just happy. And it's like, yeah. Or we're supposed to live out Jeremiah 29. We're supposed to live out Matthew chapter 25. We're supposed to live out 1 Timothy chapter 5.
Come on.
It doesn't mean you make money your North Star. That's not what I'm saying. That means, hey, I want to be faithful, right? Unlocking the full potential of your time, talent, and treasure. I want to be faithful with my time, talent, and treasure.
Yep. And
if you don't think you have any time, talent, and treasure, just being in America and watching this on a smart device.
Yeah.
Talking about the 1%. Oh, it's easy for you to say, Ruslan, you're wealthy. Uh-huh. And you know what? The folks in developing nations, you're wealthy in comparison to them. There's always going to be someone that's more poor, and there's always going to be someone that's more wealthy. And so Joel Osteen, Bill Johnson, I'm not a fan of either of those guys. But can we offer up an alternative? Why is there not more people that are speaking into this? So I say, you know what? I'll write the book. And hopefully it's the first of many. And hopefully you guys actually pre-order it and listen to it. And yes, I want you to buy it. Because I actually think that when you pay a little bit, you pay attention. That when you spend a 60-day devotional, you spend $22 on it, yes, I think you'll be more likely to use it than if we just give it to you for free. It's interesting how we as humans work that way.
Yep.
So, no more excuses. No more, oh, you said something about money. It's the prosperity gospel. No. Prosperity gospel is bad. Don't believe it. God's not just going to magically feed you like you're a little baby bird and he's going to do all the chewing for you. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. But God has created a cause and effect reality that we all are participating in. And if you're in America under the sound of my voice and you have an able body, you do not have to be, you don't have to live like everybody else.
Yeah.
You don't have to live like everybody else. You can be an outlier. Statistically, that doesn't make sense because there'll always be somebody that needs to clean the toilets. Yes, we're not talking about the person. Yes, true. Yes. But that doesn't mean that you can't take those same skills and provide for your family.
Come on.
And give to the church and give to missions and go send money over to China for the people that can't get access to Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like miss me with, you just, like if you haven't done some of that stuff, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you haven't sent Bibles to a country that isn't allowed to have Bibles, your money hasn't sent Bibles somewhere, I don't want to hear it. Miss me with the, I'm just, no. We are called to be stewards of the things we are given so that the gospel can go forward. They're not compartmentalized. It's connected. And yes, I understand. Everyone's not going to be a multimillionaire. But that doesn't mean that by starting early and applying some of these basic principles and making sure that you stop demonizing ambition, you stop demonizing diligence, you stop demonizing the desires that God has placed in you to be a provider, protector, priest of your home. You stop demonizing those things. You say, well, wait a minute. What if God put that in me on purpose and then I'm supposed to do something? You stop demonizing those things. What if there's the unlock? And some of us, it might take longer. Right? I got out of debt in 2012. I went full time in 2015, meaning I quit my job and I started this entire endeavor. I didn't we didn't get health insurance and we're able to make like a reasonable living until like 2022. I bought a house in 2023.
Yeah.
This isn't microwave Christianity. This
new.
isn't microwave financial literacy. This isn't everything's going to be peaches if you believe in Jesus. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
So if you have an issue with anything I said, go homework assignment for all you guys. Jeremiah chapter 29, Matthew chapter 5, 1 Timothy chapter 1 and 6. 1 Timothy 5 and 6. Go read those passages before you leave a nasty comment on this video. Go read those passages. Go read those passages and wrestle with the tension of those passages and read them in context and read how Jesus speaks about these things. I'm not talking to people in developing nations. I'm not talking to people in the global south. That's not who this video is for. So anyway, godly ambition, pre-order it now. Occupy Till I Come 60-day devotional. Yes, get it. Spend some money on it. It'll bless you.
Let'sGod.shop.
Let'sGod.shop. All right. That's my rant.
This man has something on his heart. That man had 32 minutes in the chamber.
Was that how long that was? Yeah. That was a 32-minute video?
Yeah, it's going to have to be a mention on a clip. It's all good. It's good. Good stuff for the book. Gets the vision out there. People understand it a little bit better.
All right.
This feels inappropriate to go straight into.
Go ahead. We can go there. Oh, super chats. Let's do some super chats.
Okay, do some super chats and we'll figure out what we're going to do next.
All right. Shout out to my man, Kevin Mullins, one of our mods. This dude's always faithful, West Virginia. Kevin, when am I going to meet you in person, bro? We're going to meet you at the next Bless God Summit.
Come on, somebody.
BlessGodSummit.com, by the way. We're about to announce the lineup. I got the amphitheater confirmed today.
You serious?
Yeah, we got it. March 7th.
Did we confirm the hotel?
Hotel's confirmed. I'm about to sign the contract.
Are you going to leak it right here?
I'm not going to leak it. I have a crazy guest that I'm going to ask to headline it.
Does it rhyme with
who?
Something.
Oh gosh, don't leak it.
I don't want to leak it. Then.
Okay,
Never mind, it's all good. I don't know who it is, but I want to know.
You know who it is.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go in for the ask. Anyway, it's gonna be insane. So, Bless God Summit.
Does it rhyme with Orden?
No, it doesn't rhyme with
Orden Peterson.
No. We're not gonna get Jordan Peterson. No, I'll see if Tammy wants to come though. I'd love to have Tammy.
That'd be really fun. That'd be nice. Yeah.
But we're about to announce it, and there's gonna be some early bird tickets. So blessgodsummit.com.
And people said, I don't know how you guys are gonna do make it even better next year. That's what they said.
Here, I'll show you who I'm gonna ask on the screen.
Okay. That would be epic.
Should I give him give him the first note?
Give him the first
Should I give him the first note?
Give him the first note. That's
I'm
fine.
gonna give y'all the first note of this is hey, okay.
If you got this, you earned it.
This is a dream. Cause I've already attempted with the other big event.
Yeah.
And they just were like, nah.
Yeah.
Just nah, I'm not interested. If we could pull this off,
Come on.
I'm gonna ask. They said they'd be down to be there.
Oh, okay.
They'd be down to just to be there, bring the group, bring the squad.
The amphitheater's nice because it's slightly unattached.
It could fit up to 7,500 people if we get the street permitted.
But I'm saying you could almost, I know you're.
All right, so I'm gonna give them the first
note.
First note. Matter of fact, you give them the first note and then I'm gonna mute it right after it starts.
Okay.
Because I don't want to play too much. Ready? Go
ahead. That's great.
That's it.
That's great.
That's it.
All right. That was it.
Close it.
Yeah.
Who got it? Who can guess it? Who's gonna be it? Who am I going for? That's gonna be a massive ask to headline our Bless God Summit / Festival. I think I already told him we got West Huff, but who do you guys think it is? I want to know. Who caught the note?
That's really funny.
So it's going to be March 5th, 6th. Go to Let's God.summit.
Boom.
All right, y'all can't leak that though, because he doesn't even know I'm asking. Okay. No, it's not Forrest. Go to blessgodsummit.com.
Oh,
Yo, this chat is sharp.
yeah, that was quick.
Blessgodsummit.com. Blessgodsummit.com.
March 5th through 7th. What was the last date? It was
So March 7th. Oh, the last date was the end of March.
End of March. Okay, so it's roughly around the same time.
So March 5th through 7th, March 7th, pull up the amphitheater. So, okay, first of all, go blessgodsummit.com, sign up for this list so you are the first to get access to the tickets. We're doing it at a amazing hotel, resort style, but the last day is going to be free to the public at the Oceanside Amphitheater, which we just got that locked in. And then I'm going for the big ask within the next couple of days. But y'all don't be weird and DM the person, any of these people. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Gotta do it, man.
Don't do that. So this is what we're going to do. The last day, which is our impact day, we're going to do a massive event at the Oceanside Amphitheater on an Oceanside Pier. This fits about 5,000. If we get the street permitted, it'll be, we could fit up to 7,500.
That'd be beautiful. Around the same time, right?
Yeah. So the idea would be we do 3 days of conference, and then the last night, we are going to get God Logic there. Yeah, God Logic. I'm going to have God Logic debate the first night. The last night of the event, instead of having music throughout, all of the entertainment is going to be saved for a massive festival outreach event on this stage. And the goal, my heart, my prayer and fasting is to get an artist that loves Jesus, like unapologetic, loves Jesus, yet is a mainstream artist that people will want to go see, and then hit them with the Jesus juke. Gospel proc. I always loved the idea of like crusades and big events.
Yeah.
But I never understood why they were so explicitly Christian with predominantly Christian audiences.
Yeah, you gotta pull a Justin Bieber.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
That was awesome, actually.
I liked it. Virtual tickets will be available. This portion of it will be available and free to the public. And so some of you guys guessed the right person, and I need y'all to just be praying that God will give favor.
Yeah.
He's already said no to an even bigger event with an even bigger high-profile person. And so I don't know Forrest well enough to ask for a favor like that, and that's kind of like tour season. So I don't know Forrest well enough. I'll definitely present it to him as like a thing, but
I got some at 3.
Yeah, but I don't know Forrest, and respectfully, like I want people who are not Christians there so that we can contextualize Jesus to them.
Yeah, and so for this, what we do is that we would have like the front sectioned off for the Blessed God Summit goers,
The
right?
VIP,
yeah, exactly. And then, but this part would be kind of like the outreach bit, right? So it's like, obviously, if you're going to the summit, this is part of the summit, and you're there at the moment. But it's also like, it's kind of cool because it's not just like an exclusive thing. Like, I paid for this concert, I get to be at this concert. You paid for the conference, and now you get to kind of practice being a disciple of Jesus in the crowd at this concert with hopefully 1,000, 2,000 people there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think if we get this person
5, 6, 7, yeah,
I think we're packing it out.
But and imagine if all our little, all the people at the Blessed God Summit become disciples that day, and they're like in the crowd, Christians mixed in. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So there's a lot of names you guys are throwing out. We're working on. I would love to have the entire indie tribe here. I think we got KB. Nick doesn't perform, Kyle. I don't know if you know that. Nick does not perform.
So if I did music, I'd be the same way.
Yeah. So it would have to be like, that would be a whole nother like miracle Hail Mary. Nick and Connor would have to come, and I've DM'd with Connor. I don't know Connor very well, but that's like the only time he performs is when he goes tours with Connor, and I don't know Connor well enough like that. But there are some other people that we're working on. All right. So Forrest is local, but I don't know Forrest like Forrest is out here now. So I don't have enough rapport with Forrest. We've hung out a couple times. It's always love when we see each other. And I don't know him well enough, but a couple of you guys guessed it. And so yeah, listen, Miles Minnick, Lecrae, all those people will get an invite. All those people will get an invite. The thing is, to put on an event like this, I'm not exaggerating. to put on an event like this, we're looking at just for this, just for a Saturday night, this with proper sound, lights, permits, insurance,
Have to do proper sound,
flights, all of that.
Lighting.
Lighting. We're looking, I would guess, at least 100K.
Good Lord, Ruslan.
At least 100K.
Stop it.
So we would do this in conjunction with some churches.
I'm gonna put a donation pin in the back.
fundraise some money.
On the screen is a QR code. If y'all want to go to give.com.
So here's the thing. Forest would be amazing. I don't know Forest very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Forest is also kind of like an explicitly Christian audience. And what I don't want to do is have a holy huddle event. That's an outreach. So I would love to have Forest, but I want someone that can actually draw people that aren't Christians so that they can hear about Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, who's the atheist guest this time? I think I'm pretty sure we'll have what's his name back, heliocentric back. I don't know if he's gonna do any sort of like debates or stuff. But no, I think for the debate we might just do not Jared. Oh gosh, what's his name? Jacob, the Mormon cat, versus God Logic on the first night. I would expect 200K for paying sound. Well, Pac the Pac-Man. No, I'm praying for favor. I'm praying for favor, and that this would be something that the person that I'm going to ask sees the vision of being a part of.
Yeah.
And is not going to charge me six figures to do an outreach event like this. That's what I'm praying for. So yeah, I obviously want to take care of people, but yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, let's move on. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to move on.
No, Kendrick. I'm not having Kendrick do a Christian event. Stop it. All right.
Let's
do you want to do something lighter?
Yeah, so we can do.
I'll ask Mike Winger, Ben, but Mike Winger don't want to do nothing, bro. Mike Winger is the friendliest friend that wants nothing to do together in person. All right, does this fit the
mega church shenanigans?
Yeah.
All
right.
I'd say so. It's shorter, but that's good.
Kevin, what's super chat? Didn't I hit your super chat? Oh, do you think all views of tithing are unbiblical? What would be a healthier view as a Southern Baptist? It is held as a biblical standard. I don't know if Southern Baptists view tithing as a biblical standard. I don't think that's unanimous, unless you're saying
Maybe
a Baptist
practice.
who is Southern. If you're talking a SBC Southern Baptist, I don't think SBC teach tithing as a requirement. I think you mean as a Baptist in the South. Neither here nor there. The biblical view, in my opinion, is that it is a great principle. I don't think you're in sin if you can't tithe or if you don't tithe, but I think it is a good principle. It's the Proverbs. It's the principles, not the promises.
Come on.
Right? So I think it's a great principle, and I think it's a great way to budget for it, but I don't think that if you aren't doing it, that you're like in sin. I think it's one of those things like, I'm going to use a really whack example. If you're not doing 10,000 steps a day, you're missing out. If you're not strength training, you're missing out. If you're not, right? Like it's like one of those things that's like a good principle to do financially.
Yeah.
But it's not a thing that like if you were going to Rhythm,
Yep.
and you're not tithing and you're in leadership, no one's sitting you down and confronting you about it.
Yeah.
But we will call and encourage people to give 10%.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's a principle, not a command. And I think that is a good way to look at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
SBC does look at it as a good principle would be the best way to say it. Yeah. So it's a good principle. Yeah. All right. Let's jump into this.
Yep.
All right. In another episode of Mega Church Shenanigans, but we can only say nice things. Today's guest is Saddleback's very own, the successor of Rick Warren himself. What is his name?
Andy Wood.
Andy Wood. All right.
Chris, make a fire edit out.
You got to sauce that up. All right. So I like this series because it allows me to generally be a fun,
silly goose guy.
Silly goose positive guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And so if you guys didn't get it, didn't catch it, we only say nice things. Now, Saddleback Church is one of the biggest churches in the country.
Mm-hmm.
This is their pastor, Andy Wood. I have friends that go to Saddleback. Andy Wood is the successor of Rick Warren. And I don't know a whole lot about him, except I remember when Rick Warren was advocating for women elders.
He's like, nah.
He was not there with him.
Yeah.
There was a distinction he drew. So he got my respect, where Rick Warren was like, no, women elders, and then Andy basically said a lot of the same stuff, but then like with the caveat that they can't be elders. Yeah. And I was like, respect. No one caught that but me, by the way. I don't remember anyone pointing out that they technically disagree on this. So let's jump into, you want to set this up for me? Or
Yeah, so scrolling the feeds, Julie Royce posts this thing, and she says, "Why does Andy Wood of Saddleback find it necessary to show off his first tattoo on his bulging bicep to his congregation?"
Okay, hold on. Can I break my own rule?
Yeah, break your rule.
I don't see anything bulging in this frame.
Oh man, you can't break the rule.
I'm just saying to protect him.
Yeah.
It's not like he's walking around here.
I've seen pastors with a lot less shirt on their body.
Right? He's wearing a reasonably covered shirt. I mean, you could argue that my shirt is too small. Actually, I kind of feel insecure.
Julie Royce, you're gonna be clipped.
Am I biceps bulging? Let me cover up. If this is bulging, what is going on? Julie.
So she's coming with a bit more of a negative tone, but we're gonna see the bright side of it today.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
There is power in the Bible to transform people's lives.
That's right.
Right out the gate.
That's right. There is power.
Yep.
Philippians
Come on.
talks about work out your salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God that is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. So he is 100% correct on that one.
Now, I'll describe it like this. This weekend, I got my first tattoo.
Okay,
here it is.
By the way. And I was trying to figure out a way to put...
Interesting.
And got his first tattoo.
He announced that he's using story into his sermon.
I like it.
You can't go to a large church and not expect a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue every good orator is going to use story as an illustration.
Mm-hmm. So he's using story.
Yep. Congregation seems kind of split. Some claps. Not an overwhelming.
Okay. I think that he is being relatable here.
I have tattoos.
I have tattoos too.
I feel related to him.
I feel really connected with him now.
That's probably the closest thing we have in common.
Is tattoos? I mean, he's in SoCal. He loves Jesus. It's probably a lot of stuff.
You're naming some important ones, but there's for the tattoo.
He lives like 60 miles from us. What are you talking about?
The tattoo's pretty high up there.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Put it in the sermon, and I figured out a way to get it in. So
Okay.
You want to see it? You guys want to see it? Okay. This is not Sharpie marker, by the way. This is my real tattoo.
Okay.
So
I think they all thought it was a joke, and then he lifted up his sleeve, and it was real. You can even go.
I can't tell what it is. It looks nice though.
Yeah. So
What is
it is.
Oh, that's fire.
It's a little complex. But I'll give it to him.
Okay.
We have a lion
Okay.
with a crown of thorns.
And then it's like a cross.
A split face where you see a little bit of the cross poking out, and underneath there you got the lamb, right? And then you got the clouds of the crucifixion, essentially.
Very, very nice use of Etsy.
That's a lion and a lamb,
I like it.
and it took 6 hours to do it.
And it took 6 seconds for ChatGPT to generate. And I think ChatGPT generates some amazing art.
I don't think ChatGPT did this.
No, definitely not. No, I think it's
I think it's fire.
and it took 6 hours.
Yeah.
And that's a frame. You can take that, Samaje. Here's what I think.
What do you think? I think this is a fire tattoo.
When you're getting ready to get a tattoo, what's the whole process? Hey, here's what I'm thinking of getting. The artist is working on it. A few weeks later, it's done. You guys are scheduling a time. A lot of anticipation. This thing's gonna be on your body forever. You sit down. The artist is gunning after it. 6 hours. You're hoping he's not making any mistakes. You cough, and your body jiggles. You're like, "Oh, did I just mess up my body forever?" He goes, "Nah, you're good." You keep going, and then the moment comes. He's like, "All right, I'm done." They take the cloth. They wipe it all nice and clean. Sometimes they have
all the blood off.
Yeah, sometimes they have the Instagram open for their own profile. You look in the mirror and you're like, that's exactly what I envisioned. Now you have this thing for the rest of your life. You go home, your wife is like, wow, I love it. Your kids are like, drawing? And you're like, yeah, it's a drawing. And this communicates really the gospel.
Come on.
And then you're excited about it. and you're supposed to shut up about it on Sunday morning.
Yeah, you can't expect this man to shut up about his new tattoo on Sunday morning.
That's a lot of lead up, man.
That's fire. Come on.
So, I don't know if you like me less now, but
I don't like you less. I like you more, Andy.
Come on.
He does. There is
There we go. And
What's part 2?
I looked for part 2 and she never posted it.
Keep going. Okay. By the way, this is the same guy who allegedly bullied his staff at his former church and he hasn't tried to church and tried to steal churches from aging Baptist congregations for more ceiling.
To be fair, if I was to steel man Andy there, I would say he was trying to revive a dying church.
That sounds about right. So, props to Andy Wood. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of a big nothing burger.
Hey,
like
a pastor getting a tattoo as a Protestant in America
at a mega church.
At a mega church is the least.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joel Osteen did this.
This is the most expected thing I could expect from a mega church pastor.
What? Yeah, this is kind of a nothing burger, Julie. I listen. I think some of the work she does is great, but this is kind of like this is like what can I be angry about today?
Yeah, she
evangelical industrial.
Sounds
complex.
like she needed that second link to drop an article, and she needed like a packaging, a relevant. This happened.
But
this Sunday.
okay, respectfully, he looks like he's within a healthy BMI. He looks like he looks like a healthy dude.
He also wasn't flexing when he pulled it.
Bulging bicep.
When he pulled it out, he didn't do like the extra sauce on it.
Hold on. Let me show you a bulging bicep for. You want to see a bulging bicep?
Someone's about to pull up Todd White. Oh my gosh, no, that's a fact. To be fair, Joel Osteen could have tattoos and he just wears so much suit we would never know. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but don't. Yeah, okay. That's a bulging bicep, Julie Royce.
Yeah.
Respectfully. That's a bulging bicep.
The veins are like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
You know? They're like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Get me out of this body.
That's a bulging bicep.
Goodness gracious. That's something else.
Yeah. So I don't think this is I think that's a big nothing burger.
Yeah. Mega church shenanigans. You know?
And we can only say nice.
And we can only say nice things. There we go. We're going to get better at that still.
We could punch it.
All right. And that's another episode of
Mega Church Shenanigans, and we can only say nice things. Should we do it again? Or is that good?
No.
Chat, was that good?
Keep that last bit in there, Chris.
How about the before and after, though, on that?
I mean, can you hate him for that, though?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a glow up.
That was Elephant Room, huh?
That was Elephant Room. All right.
That man thought he was
Someone said
thought he was Chris Angel.
Someone said I should flex. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I won't cause any ladies in here to stumble.
Whoa.
Or any dudes.
Oh yeah, you know what you're dealing with on the internet.
No, we'll post a bicep video.
We're side B friendly.
Whoa.
What? Those
Synchronization needs a little work. No, I think this is a hot take.
Yep.
I think pastors being in good shape is a net positive.
Mm-hmm.
I think pastors being in good shape is a net positive.
Yeah, and if they want to add a little artwork on top of that.
Mm-hmm. All right,
here you go.
Tell them about the next Blessed God Summit.
The next Blessed God Summit is insane. It's happening March 6th through March 5th through 7th, 2026. It's going to be awesome. Amazing guests. Oceanside, California. It's going to be even greater than the first one. But let me tell you something that's a bit more time sensitive. I am completely sober. The Priest Provider Protector Collection is here for a short time. This expires in, let's see, I got a little timer up here. 3 days and 8 hours. Yes, I don't want to hear any griping. Some things will still be available. That's how it works. We usually drop a collection. We have a bunch of items, and then we just choose a select handful of them to come back after the drop is gone. So, but it is like the entire collection is not going to be here forever. If there's something here you really, really like, it might disappear after three days. We're probably only going to keep 2 pieces from this anyways. So if you want some piece of this Priest, Provider, Protector collection, amazing Father's Day gift. It's something that if you were to hand to the father in your life, husband, friend that is a dad, massive brownie points. Who is mad about their wife giving them a Priest, Provider, Protector shirt? That's pretty awesome. And so this is available for the whole collection is available for only 3 days. And additionally to that, we have the lowest price on the Occupy Till I Come 60-day devotional we've ever had. $22. This is 25 days in the Old Testament, 35 days in the Old Testament, 25 days in the New Testament. In 60 days, you go through the entire narrative of Scripture while learning what it means to occupy on this side of eternity until Jesus returns. So blessgod.shop, pick up something from the collection. It will ship in time for Father's Day, and you can give it as an awesome gift, and you can start your 60-day devotional time. Anywho.
All right. How many topics have we hit already?
We've hit 2.
We've hit 3.
Name them.
My rant and celebrity pastor, making sure shit, man.
And then we talked a lot about the summit too.
All right. Let's hit it hard.
All right, this is a light and short one. Another light and short one.
All right.
These are 2 back to back. Build some momentum.
Hey, does the chat help me understand? What are the leaders? Is the leaders whoever is the most engaged? Someone said, "Hey, I'm number 1 in the leaderboard." I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, they updated something and we don't see it on our end. It's just like probably on mobile devices, I would guess.
All right. So, how do we set this up?
Okay. I like how people are super pressed about their leaderboard number, though.
I like it.
All right.
How do you want me to set this up?
The Christian.
Oh, it's about engagement in the chat. All right. I like it.
Christians in GTA 6.
Christians and Grand Theft Auto 6. If you guys didn't know, there's a little video game coming out.
Yep.
Called Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys my history with Grand Theft Auto just yet.
Yeah. And I'm not going to tell you guys my history with Grand Theft Auto just yet. But the meme is Grand Theft Auto keeps getting delayed by a long time. So it's always, we got Ruslan streaming on time before Grand Theft Auto 6. It's like that kind of the meme. But now it's entered the Christian realm. And, GTA is kind of a spicy game for Christians to be dabbling in. It is quite literally a double life.
Low key.
In an interesting way.
Low key.
And this creator, Jaden Williams, summarized it in a wonderful 49-second skit that we're going to watch.
Show me his channel again.
Boom. Jaden Williams.
Shout out to Jaden Williams.
Boom.
All right, here we go.
Come on.
Pause it. So the game is downloading.
Yeah, finally.
He's been waiting for it. Is there a release date for this?
They just keep announcing like later release dates.
I thought there was a release date set now. Irrelevant.
Yeah, irrelevant.
It keeps getting pushed back. It's pushed back to the point where Jesus is coming back. He hears the horn, the trumpet sound.
Yeah, the trumpet sound right when it comes back. And now he doesn't have a chance.
Boy, the Raptors have it. Oh my Lord, I've been waiting years for this.
Is this supposed to be his dad or his brother?
His dad.
We get to leave everything behind. Come on, I want to look good. Ooh, I am thrilled. I am beyond excited. Is this too long? Jesus is back, y'all. Anything and everything is done.
That is amazing.
Everything we were
That is okay. Pause it. Hold on. We gotta give this man an amazing clap for that.
Yeah,
because the acting on this is spectacular.
Anything and everything we're doing, done. He's like, I know.
Be gone. I don't even know if your mother's making it. But
Oh my gosh!
I'll put it in the Lord's hands. And we don't need to worry about anything anymore. Everything else is me.
The soundtrack on this is fire
Take us
too.
right now, Mo. Do not delay. Take us right now.
Do not delay. Take us right now. Okay. So
Wow.
GTA 6 on the way.
Yeah. Would you want to be caught downloading GTA 6 as the
No.
trumpets get played?
No,
Man, isn't that not such a beautiful answer to the question of whether Christians should play GTA 6?
No.
Would you want to be playing GTA 6 when Jesus comes back?
You know what they need to make? They need to make, what is the software? I don't have it. My friend
Christian
has it.
A6.
No. There's a software. Is it Pure Eyes or Pureflix where you can run all of your movies and TV shows through this said software to get like a clean version of it. Look up Pure Eyes. They need to make that for video games.
And so, like, when you got to shoot.
So, like,
somebody,
if my kids are at my buddy's Garrett's house and they're watching, search Pureflix. They're watching a movie. They have this thing come up. It's like a plugin. Search what is Pureflix. Is it Pureflix? Am I tripping? No, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
Oh, what is it? What is it called? Angel Eyes. Search Angel Eyes. Okay, it's not Pureflix. No. What is the thing called? Gosh darn it. Clear Eyes is something for your eyes. There is a software that is made by a company to take VidAngel. Is it VidAngel? Search VidAngel.
I think my parents had this.
VidAngel is a subscription-based streaming service that allows users to filter objectionable content from movies and TV shows available on platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Apple TV. It works by syncing with these streaming services, allowing users to customize filters to mute language, skip scenes, remove specific types of content. That sounds like an amazing product.
Didn't they create Angel Studios?
I don't know.
I think they did.
I don't know if they did, but it's a legit thing now that you can get, and you could. It syncs with all of your. This should be a daggone brand integration.
Goodness gracious, it's a fact.
So my son is at my buddy's house, and they watch like a movie, a superhero movie.
Yeah,
They're usually watching it through VidAngel,
nice.
and that's where Angel Studios got their start.
Yeah.
Apparently, why not someone make this for video games?
But I think that would just be cutscenes, you know? Like how would you
There's cutscenes in that too.
No, I'm saying, but you got to change the whole gameplay. Like you don't want to like skip a cutscene.
No one cares about the storyline. You're playing with your buddies. You're playing online.
So you're saying it's fine to play online and kill people if you're playing with your buddies?
I don't want the prostitute scene. I don't want the, you know what I'm saying? Like take all that stuff out.
So get rid of the strip club. It's locked.
Yes.
You're underage.
Yes.
And the prostitutes are like, I feel something different about the presence in this car. You got the spirit. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Exactly.
And then that's the animation for that bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Someone asked, can Christians play GTA 6? I think that's the wrong question.
Should Christians play GTA 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christians can.
They could do whatever
technically play GTA 6.
Yeah.
But the question is, should? And I haven't seen enough about the show, the movie, but the video game to give you an answer. I know we won't be playing GTA 6.
What's your pass with GTA?
What's my
Your
pass
past,
with GTA?
yeah.
I came to faith.
Come on,
a couple years
somebody.
later, there was one of the new GTAs out. I don't remember which one it was. Who was was it San Andreas or was it Vice City? This is like 20 years ago. What is that?
That's the trumpets.
Oh, it scared me. Why is my sound on?
The chills.
It was a long time ago, and I remember like being a newer Christian a couple years in and playing it and just feeling terrible about playing it. You know what I found? There was another. There was an alternative that was less bad. Was True Crime Streets of LA.
Oh, that's fun. So you're like the police, probably.
You're the police. You're the good guy. You're the detective.
Yeah.
And it's not
You
as wild.
stop crime.
It's a similar premise. It's actually a pretty good game because you can you go into modes where it's like a hand-to-hand combat type situation. And
I never
like
understood why Rockstar, who makes GTA, didn't make the police alternative. because there's that huge community of people that add the mods to make the police version, but you got to like be a hacker to understand how to get it all in.
Really?
Why don't they just make the version where you're the police officers and it's all wholesome and good?
Yeah.
I
remember I'm pretty removed from it. Like I haven't looked at it. I remember there being some sketchy scenes, and I remember at the time playing it and feeling rather convicted and disgusted with myself.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. I here's what I would do.
What would you do?
At first, I would be as terrible as I possibly could. So I used to play GTA 5. Oh, there it is.
How long ago was this?
In high school.
Okay.
In high
About
school.
10 years ago?
Yep. And me and my brother snuck the CD. We were definitely not allowed to play GTA 5.
How'd y'all get it?
We had a lot of freedom. So we just bought it.
You just bought it?
Yeah, but we're not allowed to play it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We just brought it home. You'd hide the cover with the chick on it, with the animated.
It did have a super sketch cover.
With and the meme, which I always experienced, which was the loading screen. So long. It takes so long to load that game.
Okay.
And it's
what console?
It's a slideshow, PS3.
Okay.
And it's a slideshow. So it's cutting between and showing the different characters. And then it like gets to the cover, which is the lady in the bikini. And it's like that's always when your parents walk in. So like I think there was a couple times when my mom walked in, she's like, "What is this?" I was like, "No, it's just the
thing."
You know, And so so me and my brother would play it, we would hide it. I went through phases where you'd play it and you could be as violent as possible. And then you'd be like, "Oh, that's too boring. I'm gonna try to follow the rules." And then I would like try to stop gang crime. AKA I would just drive through the streets. It's all nice and slow and pretend I was like police. And then there would be some police brutality that would take place. I'll leave it there.
You was wild.
That was
praying
that was a breeding ground for a daggone George Floyd situation.
Like
so then there would be times, and this is
clip out that George Floyd line.
This is
terrible.
This is
it's awful. What is wrong with you? This man.
There's got to be at least one. What is wrong with you? Joke a stream. We would sometimes it wouldn't load and it like wouldn't turn on, and me and my brother would be sitting there faced with the double lives that we're living, because we'd be like, "Dear Lord, please turn on the game. This is our favorite game to play." And something happens when you're sitting there praying for your GTA 5 game to turn on, that you snuck behind your parents' back, and then eventually my parents found the cover.
Oh my gosh!
And sent us a picture and was like, "What is this? We're throwing it away." And we're like, "Oh man, bummer." And then like we just bought the digital version on the PlayStation Store.
Oh my gosh, Miss Barraza, do you know this? She might be watching this.
You know, she probably doesn't know it.
She doesn't know it. This is a confession time.
Confession.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's easier to fess up to those things on the other side of sanctification.
Yeah. Do you think it would have been different had they let you play? Like, do you think you would have indulged more or less?
The same.
It would have been the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, it didn't make me a bad kid. I was just, at the end of the day, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Were there parts where you played it and you felt convicted?
I feel convicted.
Because I definitely felt convicted playing it.
At that time in my life, I can't say. I don't quite remember. I did download it. I bought it again later when later in life. Well, actually, when I was living at the other studio, with the first studio, and I played it, and I was like, man, that just doesn't hit the same. It just killing people. I remember I'd pull up to I think I was under a bridge, and I lured a hooker over. And
I've never played GTA 5.
And then I shot her in the face.
Oh my gosh.
And I stole all her money. And I'm sitting there with this blood money at 19 years old. And I was like, man, I don't think I should be playing this game anymore. So and then I was, and so now on the other side of that, I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's a version of GTA that's going to work for me.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's probably the last time I played it.
Whew, that was heavy. All right. So yeah, you guys get to, sort that out for yourselves.
You guys can sort that out for yourselves. That was my journey.
Jeez.
So I will be skipping the hyper realistic booty
So
shaking
you're not
in the
so
new
you're
Unreal
not
Engine
getting the new
GTA
one.
6. Yeah.
Good. Praise God. All right.
Not.
I'm happy. All right, Chris, we got another one for you. My goodness. Wow, that was dark, Zach. All right, what else we got? What else? What else?
Okay. Okay. I'm glad we got 2 light ones out of the way.
All right, well, that's good.
Do we want to do this one? San Antonio's special education teacher arrested for giving students alcohol.
Yeah, we could do that one.
Or you're not interested. Okay, and then we also actually let's do this one. This one's more fun. Dark Christian relics. It's pretty cool.
Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, I was borderline a Jeffrey Dahmer in GTA 6. We're snitching you out, Zach. Yeah, bro. I was 9 in the strip club in GTA on PS2.
You know what's worse than that?
We should make a video out of this
you know
and
what's
call it
worse than
Zach's
that?
gripping testimony
Yeah.
with the club.
You want to hear something dark?
Yeah, hit me.
How old were you when you were playing it?
I was 14 to 17, and then I played it again when I was 19. I was like, nah, it's not for me.
You hear something dark? When I was like 12 or 13, no, it couldn't have been 13 because I was already living in Vista in 13. So this is like 6th, 7th grade. I ended up going to Tijuana with some friends, and we ended up at an actual strip club.
Dang, Ruslan just did GTA in real life.
I was doing GTA
Good
in
Lord,
real
man.
life, bro.
Come on, dog.
Yeah, bro. So,
Good Lord.
I remember the people who were in charge of the club coming over to my group and trying to sell.
To 12-year-olds?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
not to me.
The kids you were with were older.
Yeah, they were older. They're like 18, 19. They had cars they could drive, like 17, 18.
Who's hanging out with a 12-year-old at 18, 19 years old?
I was
Just
that,
hooligans,
I
bro.
was that guy, bro.
Bro, just hooligans.
So they came over and were like trying to sell my buddy like one of the strippers. And like brought her out and like twirled her around. It was
In Mexico?
in Tijuana, yeah.
Do you remember
Really dark.
how they said it?
I mean, I remember they gave a price and
Do you want to do the accent?
He didn't want to pay. No, I'm not doing the accent. He didn't want to pay, and that was and then we ended up going into a different club. This was in a strip club. This was like one of the like nightclubs, which by the way, like they just didn't care in Tijuana, bro.
Yeah.
I remember going, and they pulled up on us, and they were like, the new guy. Like whenever someone comes into a club, they pull up and they pour alcohol from the bottle into your mouth, right? And they come with like the little, what is it called? Like the
the little kazoos? No.
yeah. I think whatever the little celebration thing, and
that one?
no, like the
Oh, the
like
kazoo,
yeah.
a kazoo.
And my buddies, I didn't drink any, but my buddies had some, and they were like, and he was like, "Hey, no," and they're like, "No, it's free." And my buddy were like, "Nah," like what? And then they were like, "Oh, free." And then so they pour the alcohol in their mouth, and they're like hanging out, and then we get ready to leave, and they're like, "Oh, you got to settle up," and they're like, "Settle up."
So it's free.
They're like, "No, amigo.
No, you misunderstood.
3.
They played you though.
They got him.
They were
And-
saying free the first time. Probably.
I don't know.
Oh, 3. Oh,
Just, with the accent.
No, amigo. I got
Yeah.
you doing accent. You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
realize it, huh?
So it got to the point where they almost called the cops on us, and we were broke and we didn't have enough. Excuse me. And so we had to scrape together a little bit of money to get ourselves out of that club, or they were going to call the Mexican police, which is like really,
The cartel, basically.
yeah, basically. And we would have been caught up. The amount of utter debauchery I got into
Yeah, that's not good.
8th grade. 8th grade was like when my life changed. That's when I moved to
Really?
Vista. I grew up maybe a mile and a half from where I live now. And that was like a clean slate for me because just like unsupervised, single mom had to work.
Yeah.
Dad wasn't really around. And so I was just around the older kids that were always getting into something, and they had cars. And so we could drive over to Mexico. We can drive to the mall. We can go get into stuff. You know what I mean? You know, oddly enough, you know who tried to set a good example for me? People are going to not believe it.
Who?
They were two older gang members, like dudes in their early 20s. And so like there's like me as a preteen.
I like how a gang member, like an old gang member is like
in
early 20s.
I mean, you get much past that. Like one of them was a blood, one of them was a Crip. And they were the only ones that I would hang out with, and they let me hang out with them for a little bit. But like when it was dark and it was like nighttime, they would stay out all night and go do stuff and whatever. And they were the only ones that were like, nah, you're gonna go home. You gotta go to school. Like you can't be around like that. Like we'll let you kick it a little bit, but you need to focus on your education. Like you could still make it.
Come on,
you can still make it. You still got a shot. And so it was really weird. One of them, his name was Carl. If Carl's watching this, tap in. Carl was like 18, 19, 20. He had like a missing eye. This is in like Normal Heights, San Diego. Yeah, I don't remember why. We never really asked him. You know, like what happened to your eye?
Carl, drop it in the chat. What happened to your eye?
His name was Carl. Coolest dude ever. One time he let me and the other older blood dude walk his dogs, and then
I knew this was the connected to the dog story.
and then we brought the dogs back to him.
Yeah.
And then one of the dogs killed the other dog that night.
Come on.
And so he was like, "What did y'all do to my dogs?" And came over early in the morning the next day. He like had to do something. So me and this blood dude and a couple of the dudes walked the dogs. And Carl came banging on my door in the morning. He's like, "What did y'all do to my dogs?" And we kind of like let them kind of like get riled up. They're like pit bulls. Carl was the guy with the
You
pit
did
bulls.
let him get riled up.
A little bit.
That's crazy.
And so one of the dogs killed the other dog, and Carl came to my door in the morning.
So you got him riled up, and then you said, "All right, here you go. You guys are home."
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And then Carl came over to my house early in the morning, and was like, "What did y'all do?" And I was like, "What do we do?" Right. And so he's like, so he had a shovel in his hand.
He said, "Bury my dog."
Here, you gonna bury the mother effing dog.
Did you bury his dog?
Yeah.
Did you pick up his dead dog's body?
I helped him bury the dog.
Did you pick up the dead dog body?
I don't think I picked up the dog. I was a kid, bro. I was like 12. I was a little bigger than
Did
Levi.
you see the dead dog?
Yeah, I saw the
Was
dead
it pretty
dog.
bloody?
Yeah, it was like it had his whole throat ripped apart. Yeah, bro. I really live GTA 6, my G.
Oh, you're like GTA 6.
I'm not making any. This is all real, bro.
You're like GTA 6 if you
Hey,
didn't
Carl.
have the fast cars and the guns.
Carl, man. Carl, tap in, bro. Carl's probably like 40, 45, 46 now. Hopefully he's still around.
I'm doing the math. You were 12
So I was 12. He was like 20.
and he was 20.
So maybe he's like 48 now. I'm 40.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So anyway, crazy life.
You didn't need no video game.
I ain't need no video games. My life was a video game. Yeah, but I will say this. Carl and the other gentleman.
That's like a GTA storyline. You gonna bury my mother effing dog.
Straight up. Carl and the other gentleman were always telling me to go to school. They wouldn't let me stay out too late.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me get into any trouble. They minimized the degree of cannabis and alcohol I consumed when I was with them. And there was always like
Guys,
you could kick it, but you got to go back
Can I hit
home.
the blunt? They're like, you didn't finish your dinner. Finish your food.
Low key. You can't drink on an empty stomach. You know that, right? Like that sort of stuff, bro. And it was weird. It was weird because there was a bizarre redemptive quality about them while
They were trying to be
being
good mentors as much as they knew possible, which was still pretty dysfunctional.
low key.
Yeah.
Low key.
That's really sweet.
So shout out to Carl. I don't know how we're gonna package that one.
This is GTA in real life. First, make Ruslan a GTA character, like get the AI joint. That'd be funny.
Oh man, yeah. What a life, huh? Gosh. Let's move on. What we got?
Dark Christian relics. It's kind of a slapper.
All right. Let me make sure it's recording. Someone said, low-key, one of my favorite streams so far. Yeah, here's the thing. I will say this. Shout out to Rick Walker. We were just talking about Rick Walker.
Rick, thank you for the book. I was just reading your book. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not super far in, but it's been really cool, actually.
We gotta have you. We gotta have you back, Rick.
And Rick is the first person that sent me a book as well. We get a lot of books.
That's actually smart. You know why it's smart?
Yeah.
All y'all that got books.
Because now I'm talking about it.
Don't send me the book. Send Zach the book.
Because now I'm talking about it, and Rick's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we get books all the time. So props to Rick for being strategic. What is the magic phrase? Here's the thing. I got a lot of stories, but when you live your life, you don't really think this stuff is different. Like this isn't
until
crazy.
You're saying it, and then the other person is like, "What?"
Yeah,
you're like, oh, I guess that kind of.
Until I'm telling the story, and it's like, wait a minute, my life is kind of wild. So I got a ton of those stories. I always forget about them until I'm in like a conversation and it comes up. And
that's funny.
We should do more story time streams. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so what is this? What is this thing called? Dark Christian relics. Relics are pieces, bones, aspects of disciples or disciples of disciples that have been preserved throughout church history. And at one point, there was a massive influx of like them keeping like the tooth of Peter or like the skull of James. Matter of fact, the Armenian church in Jerusalem claims to have the skull of James in it, right? And it's a weird tie-in, if I'm honest with you, because from one standpoint, it's pretty interesting. Like if you have like the Shroud of Turin and it's like, holy moly, it's possible that like Jesus was really wrapped in this, and how crazy is it, right? While at the same time, it's kind of creepy at the same time, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's check out this video. This is from a YouTube channel called
Hakalega.
Let's jump in.
The incorruptible jaw of St. Anthony. St. Anthony of Padua is one of the most revered saints in Catholic history. A legendary preacher, his relic speaks to his greatest gift, his voice. This is the jaw of St. Anthony, meant
This looks like one of the Squid Game characters.
Wow.
With the little eyes. Bro, look at that.
to preserve the essence of the saint's speech. The remains are housed in this ornate reliquary, lavishly adorned with gold and jewels.
Hold on. His jaw is put into this thing that looks like a kind of like a halo with fire designs on the side of it. And what is that for his eyes?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know why they made him look all kind of like, off center, asymmetrical. Poor guy, right? They say like the more asymmetrical your face, the more you are closer to like a Western beauty standard.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the daggone recreation of this man, they didn't give him a symmetrical face.
This is crazy.
I know, it's really wild. I wonder what did he say what year this was?
Are housed in this ornate reliquary, lavishly adorned with gold and jewels, above which rests an intricately carved golden halo that encircles the saint's head. Now, at first glance, it may even appear as though it has eyes. I certainly thought so, but this effect is just a reflection of the glass. Viewed from another angle, the illusion disappears entirely. It's certainly a haunting object, yet I find that there's something strangely beautiful about it.
Okay, let's look up when this has happened. So Google jaw of St. Anthony, because I got to know when this whole thing happened. Yeah, I thought those were eyes too. Those are not eyes. When did this dude live? Okay, so they was making it sound
like a medieval relic.
Yeah, it's like a medieval relic. Okay, so 1350, Cardinal is removed the saint's jaw from his grave and is kept. Okay, well, what did he do? Yeah. What did he do? What did St. Anthony do? And I'm guessing this is a saint in the Catholic tradition.
Let's see.
Wow. Yeah, definitely less creepy without the eyes. I will give you that. All right, St. Anthony of Padua is widely known as the patron saint of lost things, as well for his miracles and powerful preaching. He's often invoked for help in finding lost objects.
Them and their saints. But he was born in 1195.
Interesting. Okay. You know what else is interesting? is our Occupied Till I Come 60-day devotional, part of our Father's Day sale right now. This devotional takes you through the Old Testament in 35 entries with custom journal prompts every single day and a place for your prayer requests. You know I'm a big advocate on journaling your prayer requests. And so you get through the Old Testament and 35 entries. There's additional reading if you want to go a little deeper, and then 25 days in the New Testament, and you get through the entire narrative of Scripture in 60 days. And there's notes at the very end designed by our very own sword and pencil Josh Nadeau. I mean, this thing just looks beautiful. Okay. So you can go to blessgod.shop and pick yourself up one of these. A great gift for your dad, for your husband, for your mentor, for your pastor. We also got some mugs. We got some hats on sale for $19. This is our biggest sale since Black Friday. So go to blessgod.shop, pick up an Occupied Till I Come Devo for only $22.99, or get yourself some Priest Provider Protector apparel. Perfect for Father's Day. Great Father's Day present. And it's all shipping in time. So if you're watching this within a couple of days of it coming out, go pick it up. All right, let's go back to some of these interesting relics. All right.
Well, skip ahead to the next one. You quote that?
Sure.
The skull of Mary Magdalene. Beneath the crypt of a basilica in France lies a humble skull housed in a lavish gold reliquary.
Okay. I got a question. How does this thing make it all the way up to France?
Now you're asking smart people questions.
I understand, like, they got, like, Peter was Paul in Rome. I get it. Like, they traveled there. There's a lot of, but Mary Magdalene all the way up in France. So wherever she would die, then someone took her remains and took it up there.
Did the Bible document wherever she died? I don't think so.
I don't know. No, not in the scriptures. But I will say that these little designs are kind of fire and spooky at the same time.
Yeah, I can't lie. This whole like preserve thing with additional art around it kind of goes hard.
Is the head of Mary Magdalene, believed to be one of Jesus' closest companions. Her head is supported by 4 angels, their outstretched hands acting as a stand. Taken as a whole, it's a truly magnificent artifact.
That's fire.
But why do I hear Dark Souls music?
What? That was crazy with the angels holding it up.
Yeah, this is cool. This is
Something else.
someone else.
The whole, it's a truly magnificent artifact. But why do I hear Dark Souls music? Beyond its...
Now, why was this preserved? You guys know that, like, in certain streams of Christianity, they thought there was power in these relics.
Really?
Yeah. So it's no different than in Acts where we see the handkerchief, right?
Yeah.
And he sent a handkerchief and people got, was that Paul, I think, or Peter? Somebody sent a handkerchief and it got, and someone got healed. So that's the logic behind this. So it's not, there's a degree, I'm not stamping this.
Yeah.
But there's a degree of, like, that's what they would point to be like, well, this sort of stuff passed around, stuff they held.
And they're still working out their faith, It's not all beautiful, and we don't a bunch of theology videos around like we have today.
Right. Yeah, most people are illiterate.
Yeah,
in this time, like 10% of the population is literate. So all they have is what's being taught to them by the the clergy and what is being communicated from the church, and that's about it. Most people couldn't read, so, and the Bible wasn't as like accessible. Maybe in the 1300s more so, but one of the things that of the byproducts of the Protestant Reformation is that the ink press came around, and then the Bible was easily able to be read.
Yeah, right? all they had was like, I heard the Sermon on the Mount, and I have Mary Magdalene's skull, so I'll kind of work with that and follow Jesus. That's
stunning medieval craftsmanship. This relic holds another intriguing backstory, and possibly the secrets of the saint herself. While not counted among the 12 disciples, Mary Magdalene plays a crucial role in the story of Jesus. She was present at the crucifixion and among the first to witness his resurrection. Yet, little is known about what happened to her afterwards. According to one popular legend, she sailed to France to found one of the earliest Christian communities.
Okay, I did not know that.
I mean, that's absolute French propaganda by the Christians there.
I mean, listen,
everyone wants to claim something. They're like, if we make a piece of art about it, she lives in our country.
So there's some degree of history that they believe Thomas made it all the way to India. Not improbable for her to make it to France.
When was the Renaissance? Is that around the medieval era?
The artistic Renaissance is after this.
It's after this. Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like all of these so far, these 2 relics are all medieval.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a sprint to claim art and icons and sculptures of early church history. So that's pretty interesting. The head of John the Baptist. You ready for this one?
Oh gosh.
Relic belongs to one of the most important figures in the New Testament, John the Baptist. According to the Gospels, John met a grisly fate. He was imprisoned and eventually executed by King Herod. His head
Hold on. Why do Adam looking so darkened? Yo, what? Go, hold on.
was gifted. He was
Why
imprisoned.
Adam looking like that? What is going on?
And he got one of those muscle tees with a nip slip out.
What is happening, bro?
Well, he was in prison and he was kind of wild, wasn't he?
Yeah, they just
He was
got
a wild
looking,
boy.
They got him looking like
He probably looks
looking like Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings.
Chris, cut that in. Oh my goodness.
My precious. Why they got him looking like that, bro?
Oh.
Come on, y'all can't do John the Baptist. John the Baptist is like the first in the kingdom of heaven or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. He was described as a wild man, though.
The greatest. What did you say? The greatest. The
Wasn't he like
John was
naked?
the greatest, but unless the new disciples, I can't remember the phrase.
Wasn't he like naked
Paraphrasing.
in the desert and eating locusts?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think
I just
you know.
I feel disrespectful.
let's just say like he probably wouldn't have popped off on Instagram these days.
probably not.
You know what I'm saying?
and eventually executed by King Herod. His head was gifted to the king's daughter on a
Right.
platter.
That's in the
now,
Bible.
what happened to his head remains a mystery, but in the centuries that followed, not one, but 4 different places have claimed to have found his grim relic. The
That's what I'm kind of saying, right? All these places like, no, we have his head.
No, we have his head.
Yeah.
most famous of these is kept in the Cathedral of Amiens in France, in a small chapel.
Okay.
The French just cannibalized all the relics.
They're like, so, and then right behind Mary Magdalene, the guy also, John the Baptist's head was also in the Mary's bag. And once she got to France, we got her head later, and
Within the cathedral, a skull is enshrined on a gold platter, just like in the story. A nice touch.
Oh, wow.
But it's not the only one. In San Silvestro in Rome, there's a skull fragment, complete with a wax head. In Munich, a separate head is kept on display, this time wrapped in a fine cloth adorned with pearls and jeweled roses.
that's my favorite one so far.
That's kind of fire.
Yeah.
And the final alleged
Kind of looks like a watermelon.
head, it's not housed in a church at all, but in a mosque. The Umayyad Mosque in Damascus, one of the oldest in the Islamic world, contains a shrine dedicated to John the Baptist, who is also a revered prophet in Islam. So
Okay, yeah, that one's
I
fake.
don't like that.
That one, France has it for sure.
Why they got it? All right. Is there anything else? This is kind of spooky. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
I guess that's the point, right? Like
Yeah.
it's called the dark Christian relics.
Yeah,
All right.
and
Is there anything else?
Maybe the Shroud of Turin.
Yeah,
we
we
don't
know
really
the Shroud of
cover that
Turin.
one. Oh. The lost coin of Judas Iscariot.
Oh goodness.
This is kind of cool.
Go ahead.
the lost coins of Judas Iscariot. Until now, we've discussed holy relics, but now it's time to talk about the unholy relics, like the so-called Judas coins, the 30 pieces of silver that Judas Iscariot received in exchange for betraying Jesus.
Okay,
One of
hold
these
on. I'm just gonna let the record. I don't think anyone collected these coins after dude
Come on, man.
deleted himself.
Yeah. We'll see.
Right?
Yeah. You know what else is funny?
Huh.
Expedition Bible
Mm-hmm.
links to a store in Israel where you can buy 1st century relics. And you can buy a coin with Caesar's head on it from the 1st century, same era that Jesus was doing ministry for $1,000
That's crazy.
and get that shipped. And so part of me is like, I totally agree with you. They probably didn't collect those coins. And there's also a chance that like we're just selling them off for $1,000. Like someone might just have it because some store in Israel is like, yeah, I guess we got to sell these off, huh?
Wow. That's
Coin.
kind of that feels weird.
I would buy one because they turn them into necklaces.
That's kind of cool.
Are you wearing a render unto Caesar with a Caesar's
Right,
necklace?
right, right.
Come on.
Yeah.
is believed to be kept in a museum in Ireland. This ancient decadrachm dates to the classical era and is engraved with figures from Roman mythology. But what's most intriguing is the gold band around its edge, inscribed with the Latin phrase, "This is the price of blood." The inscription, of course, implies that the coin once belonged to Judas Iscariot, although it's impossible to verify such a claim, and historians agree that the gold rim is likely a later addition. That said, this relic is directly tied to one of the most infamous betrayals in the Bible. It's said that whoever touches the coin will be plagued with bad luck.
Wow. One time for
Huchalega.
for putting that together for us. I find it interesting that sometimes people want things connected to the source
Yeah.
instead of just wanting the source.
Come on, somebody.
All right. It's like you
I want Mary's head. Just read the Bible.
right. Just, you could just, so that's a very interesting paradigm. I wonder how much of it though is because of like, not just biblical illiteracy, just general illiteracy. People just didn't know what they didn't know.
Yeah.
And so you get swept up in this culture and you're still calling on Jesus for the forgiveness of your sins, but you just didn't know what you didn't know. And so you're going after it, trying to figure it out.
This is kind of like
this is like a thing.
This is like medieval clout chasing. Kind of, right? Like
the medieval call out video.
Where they're like, "Oh, dude, if we have Mary Magdalene's head, that's like pretty important." We're like, our country's doing pretty good. it's like the Board of Tourism in medieval times, right? It's like
Low-key.
we have a resort and Mary Magdalene's head.
Wow, that's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, I saw a movie in Catholics and what's it called? Catholics and the Orthodox are gonna be upset at me, but there's actually a really good movie about the life of Luther. Look this up for me real quick. It kind of slaps, and I watched it a long time ago, and they kind of get into some of this. It's about 25 years old. It was very well done.
Is it called Luther?
Yeah, just I think try searching Luther the movie. Yeah, it's right there, the 2003. And go to like images from it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and so it's actually really, really well done.
I always saw this on my grandparents' DVD shelf.
Yeah, they did
of all the movies that they had, and I never watched it. And now
great job with it.
This is a deep cut. Like this is like a weird 6-year-old memory for me. Like when I was 6 years old.
This movie kind of touches on some of these things and relics and indulgences and them getting these different bones and then people paying to see the bones traveling.
It's like a museum.
Like a traveling museum. And like some of this stuff was like Luther believing that it had just went too far within the church and was like, we got to reform some of this stuff. We got to change some of this stuff. It's wild.
It's like a full-on circus.
It was like, low key, and all that stuff. So anyway, great movie. I wonder if we could do a reaction to this movie.
That'd be crazy.
Like a Patreon.
Luther breakdown.
Patreon reaction. Or like do a reaction.
5 hours.
Or with a Catholic. Like me and Trent Horn sit down and watch the movie of Luther.
Well, what they're forgetting is that Luther actually.
Why you do the Ben Shapiro?
He's kind of Ben Shapiro.
No.
He's Catholic Ben Shapiro.
No.
What do you mean no?
I mean, he's smart. He has way more charisma than Ben Shapiro. Stop. Trent's the homie.
No. He's the homie.
Okay.
I'm saying you brought up charisma. I'm not going there. I'm saying he's the Catholic Ben Shapiro.
What y'all think?
Listen to his videos is like an encyclopedia.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll let the chat decide.
He's smart.
We'll let the comments decide. All right. Cool.
You decide who's next.
All right. What else we got? Let's close out any windows we're not using. That was great. How many topics have we hit?
Like 4, I think.
4. I leave for Vegas tomorrow, guys, so we're trying to get ahead.
So we just keep asking, how many are we at?
And I'm hungry too.
Oh, you want to take a little eating break?
No.
This one's
Sleeper.
Oh, this is kind of interesting.
What is this? No.
Okay, cool. You don't want to do this at all?
Just leave it open just in case.
I don't like this. This is like another channel that has like audio underneath it. But
Glenn Scrivener's reaction of it is pretty good.
Should I pull Glenn Scrivener? No.
That is Glenn Scrivener's channel.
Oh, this is?
Yeah. Let me see if I missed any topics or Q&A real quick. See if there's anything else we got.
I'll reload the Patreon. Hey, if you guys got topics and you're part of the Patreon community, head over to Patreon, drop them in the
see what's on Patreon.
comments about the.
This is brain rot at its finest. Can't believe Ruslan is scared to talk to Moeller.
Who's Moeller?
Exactly. This guy's probably not here anymore because a while ago I just marked it. I've talked to Moeller. I've talked to Moeller privately. I've talked to Moeller. Moeller has a channel. He's a live streamer. His temperament is insufferable sometimes. And so it's not that anyone's afraid to talk to him. Moeller has one thing he wants to talk about, and it's about losing your salvation. And that's all he wants to talk about, dying on that hill. So it's like I don't care to talk to him. I've said this to him privately. I've said this to him publicly. He's pretty obnoxious. Like his temperament is just annoying.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't talk to Mulder. And no one, I don't owe anybody a conversation. Like, I don't owe anybody a conversation. So this whole idea of like, you need to talk. No, I don't. I don't need to talk to anybody that I think is bad faith. So no, I don't.
Yeah.
All right. What is this? Oh, that was put in the thing. I watched some of the Lecrae and Georgienko pod. I haven't watched all of it. Yeah, so I haven't watched all of it. Is George back to smoking weed again, or what? Is that where we land at?
Serious?
It wouldn't surprise me. I think George quit and stopped and started before. Last time I talked to him, he had to quit. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Let's hit that one. That was interesting.
This one?
Yeah, why not?
Go on, sit.
Senators introduce bipartisan bill to make childbirth free. Okay, let me I don't know if I stopped the recording there or not.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
They sent it. Okay, cool. There's actually information.
Okay,
cool.
Senators. Oh my
sorry.
goodness.
I thought you were going.
Senators introduce bipartisan bill to make childbirth free. Okay, this is interesting because this is the second bipartisan bill that I've seen proposed. The last one was the revenge corn, getting that off of the thing.
Look at that.
Off the internet. So it's interesting that this is another one, and this would seem like it would be a popular thing, right? Like if you're trying to increase birth rates, you're trying to make it easier for people to have kids. They're doing the $5,000 tax credit or whatever that Trump was talking about. Now they're saying you could have a kid and not have to pay for it.
Well,
that sounds like a W. You know what I mean? So could birth soon be free in America? A bipartisan group of senators has introduced legislation that would require insurance companies to cover all costs related to childbirth without any copays or deductibles for the patients. Okay, so this is if you have health insurance.
I mean, it is a legal requirement nowadays.
To have health insurance?
Yeah. Otherwise, you get fined by the government at the end of the year.
That's true, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Obamacare. So the legislation, the Supporting Healthy Moms and Babies Act, was introduced in the Senate last week and is co-sponsored by 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. Okay, that's fine. So, I mean, if you have good health insurance, how expensive is it to have a baby?
It can be pretty expensive.
With health insurance?
Yeah, very much so.
How expensive?
So for me, it was great. It wasn't bad at all. And then for our first son, I think it was before we had health insurance here, Melissa still had her health insurance. That was really good. But I know people, like if you have like the bronze plan or even the silver plan, like I knew people that were like, yeah, our insurance just doesn't cover much. And so you have to meet your deductible first. So they're like, for us, it was $8,000.
Oof.
We have close friends that like aren't having a second baby because it's going to cost as much as buying a used car.
No.
So they're like, man, it's awesome you guys have like really good health insurance because like for us, we'd have to like budget buying a new car on a pastor's income.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like people with health insurance are dropping like $5,000-10,000 on a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well.
Can you Google what does it cost to have a baby? Without health insurance? Well, I want to know what does it cost to have a baby without health insurance? Someone said do that and remove all Planned Parenthood facilities. That's one of the best things I've ever heard. Shout out to Josh. Yeah, if you just defund Planned Parenthood, can't you then just fund some of that money into the thing? Yeah, I want to know what it costs. Like, considering you don't got to go to the NICU, like, what does having a baby cost? I always thought it was about $5,000 to just have a baby.
Inflation.
Okay, so here we go. So now we got some numbers. Okay, so a vaginal delivery is $13,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would make sense because when I was looking at this 10 years ago, because how I know about this is because we were looking at potentially doing a home birth with one of our kids.
Yeah.
And so some of our friends were having home births and it was about $5,000 to have a home birth, I think, plus like the midwife, or maybe that was with the midwife.
Yeah.
The thing with a home birth is like you might still have to go to the hospital if something goes wrong.
I've heard of a lot of people that have to.
You have heard of that?
Yeah.
I don't know of anyone that had a home birth that had complications.
I don't know anyone personally, but I feel like every other weekend Melissa's like, oh, I follow this person that had a home birth but had to go to the hospital.
Oof.
Ugh.
the C-section would make sense why that's so expensive, because the C-section you got
full-on surgery.
That's a full-on surgery, and that's like a
Anesthesiologist,
serious
surgeon.
surgery.
Yeah.
That's a serious surgery to have. So yeah, $13K, and if you don't have health insurance, that's $13K out of pocket. So then with health insurance, you're saying some people got to hit a deductible, and then you're like, now you're dropping $5 to $10K potentially out of pocket.
Yeah, exactly. The interesting thing and then oftentimes I would guess for most people that rolls into like a debt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because the health insurance or the health system is pretty much the easiest to just roll into some sort of debt system, right? Because like you can't buy a car without getting cleared and like this whole process. But with going to the hospital, you kind of just show up and they're like, do you want to pay now or later? You know, later. And then they're like calling you like, oh yeah, I'll get to it.
Yeah. But you guys just had a baby, and with health insurance.
Yeah, with health insurance, it's $500.
$500. And I mean,
really-
we
that's
have
really
the nicest health insurance that we can buy.
No, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
$500.
Were you guys at this new Kaiser building?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like Kaiser, but I also understand that we are very fortunate to have really good health insurance. And the cool thing about Kaiser is everything's in the same building, right? And so like you getting to go see this person or that person's all under the same roof.
Yeah.
And then the hospital's right next door now in San Marcos.
And they had a nice coffee shop downstairs.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
At the hospital.
And so
How many days were you in the hospital though when you guys had the baby?
I think we got there. I think we were there for 2 nights, 3 days.
Wow, that long. In the past, they've gotten us out of there in like a night. Like
well,
you get a night and you
we got
bounce.
there. I think we got there in the middle of the day, and I think she got induced.
Okay.
And then the baby was born by like 6 p.m. I think.
Okay.
And then obviously that night, then one full day of like checkups. Like they didn't start checkups right there. You know, all the systems. And
Sure.
The ear person and the eye person.
Yep.
And then it was one full day, and I think we went home. I think it's possible we went home that night. I don't remember sleeping a second night there, but we might have. We might have slept there 2 nights and then left in the morning.
I mean, birth is one of the most beautiful, miraculous, yet at the same time dangerous things that any human can experience.
Yeah.
So someone bringing in life into this world and then being hit with a $10,000 hospital bill just sounds awful.
Sounds not good. I also think preventing people, like people that want to have kids, and then they're like, well, I can't afford a used car, so I'm just not gonna have kids. It's like pretty sad.
It's really sad.
You know, or like they have a vision for how close they want an age gap to be, but they just can't. You know, they can't afford it. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I think this is I think this is going to be very popular. And I think in light of the incentives to get Americans to have more kids, this is a massive W to if they can get this passed and figure out a way to say, hey, you know, because here's the thing. There's a lot of inflated costs within the healthcare industry.
A lot.
So a lot of stuff is like, yeah, you're not really paying for said thing. You're paying, like, okay, I'll give you guys an example. I went to ortho doctor today. I've had 3 knee surgeries, 2 in the last 2 in the last 6 years. So I had a knee surgery in 2019, and then I had a knee surgery in 2022. And I went to the doctor, and I'm trying to figure out, because my knee is getting real tight again. So like, I don't play basketball, I don't run, I don't sprint, I lift weights, and just like regular movements. And even when I'm lifting weights, I'm not sitting here maxing out on the squat.
Yeah.
Right. Like I go heavy on the deadlift, but like even talking to my doctor, I was like, hey, I've been hearing this stuff about stem cells, and I want to know if I can get stem cell treatment on my knee. And he's like, well, we can give you a cortisol shot. We can give you one of these gel shots. We're about to start doing stem cell shots, but it's probably not going to replace cartilage, because that's not what they do. They just make it your joints and stuff smoother.
Yeah.
But he's like, if you go through Kaiser, they charge it a lot, and so now you're looking at $800 to $1,000 for a shot of stem cell. He's like, my ortho doctor goes, you're probably better just finding someone locally to do it because we don't cover it and we mark it up.
Oh my God.
So just find a different doctor to do it. He's like, you'll probably pay $300 to $400. And I'm like, I have health insurance.
Yeah.
I pay you health insurance. You're telling me as a doctor that it may help, but we're going to double it, triple it, whatever it is on the market, and we don't cover any of it. But we'll give you this cortisone shot, or we'll give you this gel shot.
Crazy.
I'm like, what? So basically, what we decided was like, hey, come back, get the cortisone shot. I'm getting a gel shot.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that does. The cortisone shot could cause more damage with tissue damage or whatever. But he's like, get it. You'll probably feel good. And your knee will feel better. But don't get it if you're about to go to Vegas because there's a slight chance your knee can swell up, and you don't want to be in Vegas with a swollen knee.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very slight, but I just don't want you to take that chance. So when you come back, we'll get you the shot. And I was like, okay.
That's crazy. That reminds me of this video that went super viral of this guy that didn't have health insurance or got a bill because they thought he didn't have health insurance. He asks for says, oh, we actually have health insurance. Can you process that? Gets the bill back. It's more expensive.
Oh my gosh.
Check it out.
How can I help you? So I think there's a mistake on the bill, but maybe you could help me out. We got a bill, and then we realized that you guys didn't have our insurance, so we sent you the insurance, and it looks like the bill went up.
It went up?
Yeah, the first bill we got without the insurance was $600, and then the second one was almost $1,300.
Double.
What?
Okay. Yeah, so that the first invoice you received, that's a discount that you receive if you're uninsured. So you're not eligible for the discount since you are insured. And so the bill was $2,342.14. We billed your insurance. Your insurance only paid $1,078.85.
Can I go back to the discount without the insurance?
What?
No, so you're insured, so you're not eligible for the discount.
So basically it just goes on.
Oh my gosh.
He's trying to reason with this dude.
This
and
is
the guy's
awful.
just following the script and can't do anything about it. And this is, not to be that guy, but this is that kind of like brain rot state of California type of policy.
Oh, for sure.
That's like, hey, we'll give massive discounts to our large population.
And we'll subsidize a massive health insurance for a lot of people.
But like
the person paying for the
person
insurance
paying for everything
gets penalized.
If you're here legally and you got everything, you're fine. Just we don't care about you.
Yeah. That ain't it. That ain't it. I don't know how you fix the healthcare industry. I have no idea how you fix it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Definitely not shooting CEOs.
But it definitely not that.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
That didn't do anything.
But this
actually
just seems stupid.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
This is stupid.
It's pretty bad.
If you don't want to be stupid, you should pick up our Occupy Till I Come 60-day devotional, available right now, 35 days in the Old Testament, really helping you not be stupid, to avoid the brain rot that we see happening. And for celebration of Rainbow Flag Month, we even added a rainbow flag right here. Because
A rainbow, not a rainbow flag.
A rainbow. Not a rainbow flag, a rainbow. To take back the rainbow. It's 35 days in the Old Testament, 25 days in the New Testament. Every single day has an additional reading and a custom journal prompt with different questions about the reading, with a section to document your prayer request, and there's just notes in the back. So these are available right now for our big Father's Day sale. $22 right now. Go to blessgod.shop. We also got some other items available, like our brand new Priest Provider Protector collection with our collaboration with the homie Josh Nadeau, oversized angel tee. We got a $44 hoodie. We got some hats, $19 hats. This is the biggest sale we've had since Black Friday. And we got a mug, by the way. So if you want to get something for your dad, for your pastor, for your husband, for your mentor, get him something that says Priest, Provider, Protector. Oh my gosh, you are winning. They are winning. They're going to be so happy. And so get your Father's Day shopping done now, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Come on.
Okay, what else we got? Is that it?
Well, it's not quite it. We have this guy.
Go back to Patreon, see if there's anything else on Patreon.
Yeah, I kept reloading it. There's nothing.
Nothing.
But I can check the chats. I can check the chats.
All right. I have that rainbow canvas in my house. Oh yeah, let's look at that. Have you seen that?
13 minutes ago. Thank you, Jeremy.
Jeremy Owen saving the day.
Perfect time.
So I got some insight. I got some insight on this.
Oh, that's so cool.
Let me stop the recording here.
Oh my goodness.
What's that?
He was at Benny's Hinge Church?
Oh, this is great. All right, big shout out to Tyler. I don't know how you say his last name. Oliveira. I exposed the most corrupt church in America. Okay. Churches in America. I got some insider information. I don't know if I'm allowed to share, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'll ask for forgiveness on the back end. So he goes deep into the prosperity gospel.
Okay.
On this video. Great video. Like amazing documentary. Really well done. He already makes kind of bangers. Like almost all his videos are bangers. I don't want to look at the whole thing. You just watch the beginning and then the end because I think it's really good. So just play me the opening and then and I'll give you guys some inside information on this. Go ahead.
That's me confronting the $60 million televangelist.
Okay, pause. That's just an amazing frame right there.
I mean, what, dude? He charged the stage and then the security's freaking out. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Okay, that's enough. Benny Hinn saying that. Bro.
He's like, I wish my fake powders worked right now to slay you in the spirit.
So when I watched this, I went into this, I'm like, oh, this can go left. Like if he is going against the prosperity church, this can turn into a Christianity bad video. And to his credit, Tyler did not turn this into a Christianity bad video. He turned this into a prosperity gospel is bad video. And the prosperity gospel, for those of you guys who don't know it, is not just about biblical prosperity for those who are diligent, those who are faithful with their time, talent, and treasure. The prosperity gospel says, if you believe strong enough, if you give, you will get. If you think it, your thoughts will become things and you will manifest ideas because God loves you. And if God loves you, God will bless you with all material success. He rightfully distinguishes that gospel from the gospel.
Really? That's pretty cool.
To his credit, does a great job in this video. And he actually has other people share the gospel. And there is a creator that could have been in this video, but didn't make it in this video, that I'll tell you guys about in a minute. But let's look a little bit more about Tyler's video. Go ahead.
Benny Hinn is a false prophet, fake healer, and snake oil salesman.
We're going to get into the scriptures. Can we do that now?
He lives in a $10 million mansion, bought a private jet with donations from the churchgoers, and has made his riches by claiming to perform miracles.
Mercy and grace.
That's a classic.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it opens with Benny Hinn, and then let's jump ahead.
Just a random part?
Yeah, so he's like interviewing random people. I just kind of scrubbed through the video. We don't play it.
Yeah.
So he's interviewing random people at these different churches. He pulls up to a bunch of different churches, and then he confronts Joel Osteen, which is great.
He does.
Yeah.
Is there here?
Yeah, play it.
Required for God to bless you. And of course, has Joel himself profited off of God's word to enrich himself?
Come on, Joel. Let us in, please, God.
So he lines up. He goes to his church, lines up.
One more, please.
And lie. Okay, this is the only part that made me uncomfortable. He like lies to this lady.
Yeah.
You know, which is like, but I get, I don't know.
He's like, we're best friends.
No, listen.
We do have books that are already signed that please, this close.
Now listen.
Oh, yes.
I need a promise.
All right.
You gotta go quickly.
All right.
Don't start a story with when I was 5.
Fair.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Joel, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Could you sign my book?
I'd be glad to.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm from Austin, Texas. Joel, I have a question for you. Do you think you've used the Lord's word to profit, like grossly? Or do you think you distorted the Lord's word to make money? Whoa.
Look at how they circled him.
Whoa.
Right,
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Don't fumble the bag.
I asked you not to do that, and obedient to God, He is a blessing, and you're here, and we asked you not to do it, and you still did that.
Okay, you're right.
That's not cool. God bless you.
God bless.
That's crazy.
She got chewed out by the Sunday school teacher. Or he did.
He got chewed. Yeah, he got chewed out. So he goes to this whole thing, and then he highlights other people that have been negatively impacted by the prosperity gospel, which I thought was cool. This dude does a good job of, I don't remember this guy's name, does a great job of sharing what the truth of the gospel is. Like really, 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 really well done video.
Wow.
And at the end of the video, so like they're talking about folks that have been like lost friends, lost family. The end of the video, you're going too far because I don't want to reveal it. And then I'll tell you guys in a second. He gets into how to he gets in. They basically kind of get assaulted by Benny Hinn's people.
What?
Yeah. So we're gonna get there. But I said this on an earlier stream. I think one of the issues with how a Joel Osteen and how a Benny Hinn rises up is there is a lack of literacy around the scriptures, both in what the gospel is and what the gospel is not, and what is the way and the order of which God has established this cause and effect reality that we live in.
Wow.
Right? That if you believe in Jesus and you place faith in Jesus, that doesn't mean you're just going to be comfortable and be blessed and get all your wildest dreams. Because sometimes you pray for stuff and God says no or not yet.
Yeah.
But I think that there is an aspect of not being talked about a lot, which is what is God's heart in terms of the cause and effect reality that we're a part of? What is God's heart in terms of work ethic, in terms of diligence, in terms of planning, in terms of stewardship? Stewardship, that word stewardship means management, right? What does that look like? And that's why we put together the 60-day, goodness gracious. Oh my gosh.
That was so good.
That is why we put together the Occupy Till I Come 60-day devotional, taking you through the entire narrative of Scripture in 60 days, landing at the idea that Jesus in Luke chapter 19, verse 13, actually says, occupy until I come. In the other translations, it says, do business with us until I come. Do business with the resources we've been given. And so this is available right now. Take you through the whole 60 days. Old Testament, 35 days. New Testament, 25 days. It's available for $22. So you could say Joel Osteen is enriching himself off the gospel, as Tyler accuses him of. $22 is not enriching us, okay? Just for the record. And I actually get into these ideas of unlocking your true, the full potential of your time, talent, treasure in my new book, Godly Ambition, which comes out September 9th. But not just pointing to Benny Hinn and Joel Osteen and Kenneth Copeland and saying they're bad, that's false. But what do the scriptures actually teach? What do the scriptures teach about diligence? What do the scriptures teach about work ethic, planning, stewardship, management, living less on what you make, making sure that you're providing for your family and your extended family, being generous, a holistic view of these things. So anyway, that's available right now. blessgod.shop, $22. You can pick it up. And like, believe it or not, and I was actually having a conversation with the person that could have ended up in this video.
Really?
And I said, I love the work you do in exposing some of this because I think it's necessary. And I said, in an indirect way, and people will conflate this. I said, in the stuff that I'm putting out with the Godly Ambition book, in the stuff that we're talking about, I said, I feel like we're doing the same thing, but actually giving people a framework on how to avoid the prosperity gospel by understanding what the biblical prescriptions are towards diligence and stewardship and management.
Was this a YouTube creator?
He's a YouTube creator.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Could you reveal it? If I guess right?
Yeah, so he was supposed to be in this video, and he missed the email. And I told him, hey, follow up, because maybe he'll do a part 2.
Mike Winger?
Mike Winger. Wow. So Mike Winger was supposed to be in
that would have been cool.
Tyler's video, and he just missed it. And then I actually sent him this video. I said, have you seen this? And we were going back and forth, and he's like, oh, dude, I just saw that he reached out to me, and I missed it.
Wow.
And so anyway, we were having this conversation of like, hey, like, I think this stuff has to be called out, and that's necessary. I also think people need to be redirected. Like, if you want to be someone that God uses in specific ways, if you want to be someone that is diligent, not everybody's going to be rich. That's not God's heart for everybody. Just because you place your faith in Jesus, that's not what's going to happen. However, we live in a cause and effect reality that if you're diligent, you live on less than what you make. You're faithful. You're generous. You consider the next season that you can, within America, if you're able body, you can be diligent and you can see breakthrough in these areas. But it's not a one-to-one. Proverbs are principles, not promises. But Jesus does talk a lot about money, diligence, business, a lot. Like 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 parables is talking about something related to these topics.
Wow.
And so anyway, I think the way we combat the prosperity gospel, believe it or not, is with a healthy biblical gospel on. And then how does that impact our finances? How does that impact our diligence? So let's go back to this video.
Yep.
So now, play this a little, because this dude does a good job right here.
A belief, completely unbiblically founded, that as Christians, we are supposed to prosper in every single facet of our lives.
I mean, this man,
our health is.
I'll choose him. You know, he can be the representation for Christians.
We're always supposed to be well.
Yacked. He's got a whoop on. He's got a full sleeve. I liked it. I like full
We're always
beard.
supposed to be healed. We're supposed to be prosperous in the literal sense of finances.
What drove
So
you to
and
leave?
remember, we looked at that word. Let's go back. Let's go back. So when you look at the word, can I take over?
I got you. Oh, okay.
Go back to Jeremiah 29. Okay, so right there, we already got it pulled up. So if you go here and we're in our trusty logo software, and you go to Bible study and you look up the word for prosperity, right? Prosper. This is Jeremiah chapter 29. The children of Israel are in exile in Babylon.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah in 29 says to also seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. So when you look at this word prosperity, go back here, we see that peace, prosperity, success, welfare, state of health, friendliness, completeness, soundness, welfare, peace. So prosperity in the biblical sense isn't just about finances.
It's like a state
overall
of being.
Being, yes, yes. And so when this is telling us that when we seek the peace and prosperity for the city that we're called into, the exile that we're called into, we will prosper. Again, this word here, it's the same word.
Same one. Same
right?
word. Wow.
So it's a soundness, it's a wellness, and sometimes it's translated as success, blessing, great, prosperity, safety, right? Peace. So it's not just about financial success in a literal sense. Financial success is going to have way more to do with where you are, what time and space you're in, what country you're in, what opportunities are in front of you, what degree of information you have access to, right? So let's go back to Tyler's video. Go ahead.
Your father's church. My biggest problem that I ended up having was I never really opened the Bible for myself a whole lot. I was raised to listen to the man of God, and he had all the answers. And I was
Who's the man of God?
So in this case would be my father. My dad preaches sinless perfection, which is an even more extreme version of Pentecostal doctrine, whereas you can't sin.
Oof. Okay.
So once you become a follower of Jesus, you are a sinless perfection.
Yeah, sinless perfection is pretty dark. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's jump ahead. I want to show you this last sequence where
Is it right here?
Yeah, this is after they
charge the stage.
No, this is a different one. You gotta go deeper. You're not deep enough. The Benny Hinn thing. I just want to show the Benny Hinn thing.
Yeah. All right,
okay, go ahead.
Listen, you're a scammer. You're a liar.
Gospel.
You gotta go. I want you to go.
You guys are going to build their illness. Benny Hinn. We're in Chicago. Windstorm is approaching. It is time for Benny's judgment. So real quick.
I'll be like, go on down the road, you fuck.
If you want to support our boots on the...
And God's people said, amen. You may be seated.
Benny Hinn is a false prophet.
Hold on, what did Benny Hinn say to him? Play again.
Benny Hinn is a false prophet.
What did he say to him? Did you catch what Benny Hinn said to him?
I think he was just doing. He's doing
He's
some
praying in
tongues.
song. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Enough is enough, brother. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
No, peaceful.
Yeah.
Look at that. They manhandled that dude.
He's abusing the word.
Okay. Now, okay, I will say this. I will pause it. If someone rushed the stage like that and it has that much security,
Oh, yeah.
you're asking for it.
Yeah. That's scary.
But what they did to the cameraman is wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
How to be a man out. It's all right. No problem.
Did they use the meta glasses?
It's all right, brother.
No, he had a
Calm down.
camera.
While I was getting the George Floyd treatment, fighting for each breath, my cameraman ran for his life to avoid a similar fate,
So we're going to get into the scriptures. Can we do that now?
only to get captured and beaten with his own camera.
I was hit twice. I was hit twice with a golf cart, assaulted by a person here. Then he tackled me and threw me into the middle of a active road. And after that, they kept beating my head. And then they grabbed my camera and they were trying to delete the footage. Actively.
I just got hogtied.
Why is Tyler Oliveira's cameraman the daggone like? And I ain't got time for that. Like the type of interviews. I got bronchitis.
Tyler
Oliveira's got an eccentric cameraman.
Tyler's cameraman is exactly who I thought he would be.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. So the assaulting of the cameraman is foul.
Yeah.
If that's what really happened, he says they ran up to him, they beat him with his own camera, then they took the footage and made sure he deleted it.
Wow.
Right? So Tyler explains it here. Go ahead.
Body slammed and tackled. Pasha went running, and apparently they clipped him with a golf cart and proceeded to beat his head in and delete the footage. So things are not looking good. We are headed to the hospital right now where he is.
That's
to make
wrong.
sure he's alive. Apparently they deleted all the footage from the camera, so it's gone. I've been trespassed.
So I could understand him being trespassed. I could understand him even being arrested.
Yeah.
But the way they treated the cameraman that had nothing, he didn't rush the stage. He didn't do anything wrong.
That's
he was
crazy.
there. He was there making a video.
They hit him with a golf cart like he was an active felon. Like,
what are they
insane.
doing? This is wild. This is really wild. And so like the heavy-handedness of how some of these guys respond, I don't think does them any favors.
Mm-hmm.
The heavy-handedness with Benny Hinn going after a Mike Winger or someone on Joel Osteen going after a Mike Winger and then losing YouTube back and forth like Benny Hinn did.
Yeah.
Like this is not a good look for you.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
On top of the legal liability.
Hello.
If they could prove that he was assaulted like this is a legal nightmare.
I want to see the comments.
Huh?
I want to see the top comments.
Oh, the comments are great. Go ahead. Play the rest of this.
Okay.
Hospital, making sure Pasha's alive. In an ironic twist of fate, the church themselves beat the shit out of us. And what it sounds like, beat the shit out of Pasha. So we're gonna check in.
They tampered with video evidence. They deleted the first one. They could not finish the second one.
How are you telling them what happened there? What did they do? They ran you
ran me over with a golf cart twice. I'm gonna die today. He threw me in the middle of the active roadway in front of a semi truck. He beat my head with an asshole. Like 4 or 5 people on top of me.
Yeah.
Beating my head, ankles, knees. They sniped the camera out. They hit my head with the camera.
Shout out.
Play this.
The son of Bishop Dan Willis, off-duty cop Chad Willis, for throwing me around like a ragdoll with his goon squad and giving me the George Floyd chokedown. And shout out this bald security schmuck for trying to murder Pasha with a golf cart.
Yo, he hunted down this man's LinkedIn.
Wild, bro. Yeah, this is not cool. So, yeah, that's just about because listen, Tyler got bread. Like Tyler could hire a lawyer and go after these guys.
Yeah,
So this is really, really dark stuff. Yeah, the comments were generally positive on this video, though.
4.2 million views in a couple of days. Pretty great.
No, that's a banger.
That's a banger.
So, props to Tyler. Maybe him and Mike Winger could do something in the future. I would love to see that. And I think it's all good. These are great conversations to have. These are great conversations to have. I think the only part that I want to highlight it is the conversations around financial literacy. Like I had a conversation with Mike Winger on financial literacy and I thought it was amazing.
Yes.
Right. And I think those conversations also need to be had because I don't think we have those enough. And it can't just be Dave Ramsey out here.
Dave Ramsey's great. Why
he's great.
Dave?
He's great. But Dave's
my hero.
Dave's amazing.
Dave's my spirit animal.
He's a little old.
I like him being old.
No, I love Dave. Dave helped us get out of debt and it was amazing. So props to Dave. Okay. How many topics did we hit? Because we're at 2.5 hours.
Which is usually our cook time.
That's the kind of stuff. I don't know how people be going like 6 hours live on YouTube.
Well, they do like the content farming stuff.
Oh yeah, not much.
And they sit here and they'll ask. Yeah, chat. What do you think of that, chat? Huh? Yeah, I think we.
Hold on, Cindy, you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying they should have rushed the stage. I said I understand what happened to Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Did I not say that? Chris, rewind that part in the video. Just chop back to me going.
Why? This is wrong. Why are you pushing for them to rush the stage?
I'm not pushing them to rush the stage. I said he was wild for doing that, and I understand why he got manhandled like that. Yeah. I literally said that. You weren't listening, Cindy.
Yeah. And you're using
so hold on.
Marks.
In the chat, engage with the things that I'm actually saying and not what you think I'm saying. I specifically said, hey, I understand why they treated Tyler that way. His cameraman did not rush the stage. His cameraman did not do anything illegal or against their rules. He was there with a camera and they assaulted him.
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about the cameraman. So what I'm saying is they legally assaulted the cameraman. That is wrong. So no one is encouraging or pushing them to rush the stage. Do not straw man what I'm talking about. Engage with what I'm actually saying and not what you think I'm saying. Because I'm not advocating for anyone to rush the stage under any circumstances. I think that is dangerous. I think you're putting yourself in danger. I think you're putting other people in danger. I think it is unhelpful to do this under. I wouldn't recommend this on my worst enemies to rush the stage like this. You might literally get yourself hurt. Worse. Right? Like that could have ended really bad for Tyler. So no, I'm not advocating. He pulled a stunt and that was not cool.
Mm-hmm.
However, what they did to the cameraman as a church is not just not cool, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Flat out illegal. He got trespassed. Yes, wrong, bad, legally wrong. They beat the dude to a bloody pulp.
I mean, that was a little exaggerated too. He looked completely fine.
Okay, maybe he exaggerated a little bit. Maybe
He's like, they beat my head in, and I was like, I just don't see a single scratch.
I didn't see a single scratch on. I know, you're right. Maybe.
But they use excessive
There's
use
a lot of
force.
bruises.
They
Maybe
should have
there's a lot
walked
of
him out.
bruises.
They should have
Yes.
walked him out.
They should have walked him out. They
Definitely-
should have. Well,
definitely
no,
don't
he
hit
was
him.
walking out.
No. What I'm saying is like the most they should have done by handling him is walking him out.
Yes, that's the most that should have happened.
Yeah. And the
he
fact
didn't
that
rush
they
the
hit him with a
stage.
golf cart is insane.
Yeah, he didn't rush the stage. He didn't go on the stage. He didn't put himself in proximity of bringing harm to anyone the way Tyler did. Right? None of that happened. So why run him over with a golf cart? Like that's unhinged, guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Stop the recording. All right. You guys got any comments, questions before we get out of here? I would love to hear from you guys. What else? Do we got anything else queued up?
Just that Alex O'Connor bit.
I don't want to do the Alex O'Connor bit.
Let me close it. It's been open too long. The Donald Trump bit.
What was the one that Kelly P sent over?
It's kind of like a nothing burger. It's like, oh, wow. It's nothing. That's nothing.
All right. And is there anything else on Patreon?
No, nothing else on Patreon.
You sure?
Yeah, I just checked.
Okay.
Let me check the DMs.
Oh, go to my. I might have added something.
Here?
Yeah. What is that one? Go to the very top.
Wait, close this and reload it.
I added something over the weekend, I think.
Oh.
Let me see. Hold on.
No, I don't think. Sponsored prayer? Oh. This is funny. Okay, one last silly goose time.
Hold on.
Come on.
I feel like we missed. We hit that.
This is one I hit over the weekend. Or I added over the weekend. Whew. One last one.
What is this?
If I can pull it out of.
Oh, we already hit that.
Yeah,
one.
that was the P-Ride month.
Okay, cool. Let's hit it.
Okay, cool.
All right. So what is the setup for this?
All right. The first ever paid sponsorship prayer.
The first ever paid sponsorship prayer. I don't believe my own ears saying this, but apparently Zach said it is true. The first ever paid sponsorship prayer. Those of you guys that have a problem with our Father's Day sale, they got a problem that we have our Occupy Till I Come Devo for only $22.
Come on, man.
Okay, this takes it to a whole nother level. So this NASCAR pre-race prayer remains iconic. Okay, this is wait. NASCAR. It would be NASCAR
to have a pre-race prayer.
It would be NASCAR.
While the NFL is taking knees to our almighty flag, we are going to pray to our almighty Savior.
All right. Play prayer.
Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us.
All right.
Thank you for the Dodge.
So far, I like it.
Mighty machines.
Mighty machines. Praise God for the technology. Praise God for
craftsmen and artisans that put together these powerful machines.
Yes. The minds, the creativity.
God is the creator. We're made in his image, and people have created these powerful machines. Beautiful thing.
All right.
And the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords, and most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that.
Okay. I thought it was gonna end on. Thank you for the Toyotas and the Fords. He went into an actual brand integration.
He starts going into a full-on brand integration, and all the NASCAR drivers that are like either actually Christian or like trying to be respectful just start laughing. It's really good.
We see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the.
Hold on. He praising the Goodyear blimp and the Goodyear tires?
Yes.
Bro, you can't. No.
That bring power and performance to the racetrack.
No, I was fine. I was fine with the machinery and the engineering.
Yeah.
I was okay with the Ford and Toyota. I was like, all right.
Yeah, American made.
Thank you to our partners.
Come on.
Track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking.
Yeah, he starts laughing. He says, Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife.
Wife tonight, Lisa. My 2 children, Eli and Emma, are as we
Now they're all
like to
cracking
call
up.
them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them
Amen.
tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Wow.
That was great. Okay, you know what this reminds me of? Have you ever seen this?
Talladega Nights?
Talladega Nights!
Come on, somebody.
When Will Ferrell is praying to baby Jesus?
So the top comment was says, if Talladega Nights was a documentary.
Oh my goodness.
Should I pull up the no, we can't.
No, we can't pull up the wow, how old is this? This is 6 days ago.
This was posted 6 days ago, but it says this iconic NASCAR prayer, so it must be a couple years old.
Wow.
So it says, have I found my church? Hey man, Protestants to a whole new level. They're like, you know, some people have worship, we have machines. And the roar of them engines is our cries unto the Lord.
Some people gather around Sundays at a church building. We gather around a racetrack.
Yep. Those Catholics have been too religious. We made it a relationship.
We made a relationship between you and the road.
You and the road and your Lord.
And the Lord.
As the famous song goes, Jesus take the wheel.
Okay, so listen, I love the idea of infusing your faith in pockets that perhaps aren't friendly to faith or are just, you know, this is a secular thing. So I like that. I like that there is a desire to integrate and be faithful in these spaces.
Yeah,
I like that.
Bow your head and close your eyes.
That's fire.
Beat. Love it.
That's fire. The over correction, that's not even over correction. The overstepping is when you start shouting out specific brands.
I agree.
And you're talking about the Goodyear blimp, and you're talking about, you know, our partners.
Something performance fuel. Like you're talking about the daggone gas.
Here's the thing. If he's a part, I wouldn't have even minded if he would have opened, hey, say before we open in prayer, hey, I just want to take a shout out for all the sponsors.
Come on.
Because punchline, these events wouldn't be happening without sponsors.
Come on.
They offset a lot of the costs. So I wouldn't even mind giving a shout out to the sponsors. We had sponsors our event. We had some amazing organizations, Human Life Coalition, some book publishers. It was awesome.
And then in the transition, and now to give the greatest shout out to the one and only sponsor, Jesus Christ. If you bow your head and close your eyes, we'll get into a national prayer.
And then just keep the prayer about protecting the brothers on the course and God's using them in incredible ways and all that sort of stuff. And by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we don't take sponsors on the channel. We have one that is Logos Bible Software.
After 5 years.
After 5 years. And that's because we don't want to sell you guys Helix mattresses and we don't want to sell you guys VPN. We have our own amazing products. The Occupy Till I Come 60-day devotional on sale now, right now for our Father's Day sale for $22. And by the way, I got a book coming out on Godly Ambition September 9th. But this right here on sale now, 35 days in the Old Testament, 25 days in the New Testament, taking you through the entire narrative of Scripture, additional reading with custom daily prompts to go deeper and document your prayer requests. And there's a whole back end of just notes. You can carry this on you. Designed by my guy, Josh Nadeau, a part of our Father's Day sale. So you can pick up this for $22.99. You could pick up some hats for $19, $44 hoodie. Father's Day sale. Go to blessgod.shop right now. Keep us brand free. Yeah. I don't want to sell Helix mattresses. I don't want to sell you plots of land in Scotland.
I don't want to have to sneak a brand integration into a prayer.
Yeah, we don't want to do this, right? Come on. We don't want to do that. We have amazing products for you guys designed by other Christian artists like Josh Nadeau, and they're very affordable. We got mugs now. So if you want to get your dad, your husband, your pastor, your mentor, something, go to blessgod.shop. Pick up something Father's Day.
Chat's wild. Someone said, Dear God, thank you for my brand new book releasing soon, Godly Ambition. Someone said, Dear God, thank you for the Bless God shop. And wow, that's hilarious.
Come now, take the Celsius sponsorship. I can't do Celsius. I couldn't do Celsius. I mean, they already got George.
We drink a lot of yerba. Right?
We drink a lot of yerba.
I would, you know what?
I couldn't.
If it's good, the Huberman new mate thing.
Oh,
I would give that a shot.
Huberman been going to church, man.
Some of these other mates are they're interesting.
Yep.
You know, and so I would be interested to try his. And if he was more creator friendly, might jump the boat. Now that yerba mates turned into yerba madre, Mother Earth.
Yerba madre, Mother Earth. Ugh. Still good though.
Still good.
Bro, the George Janko Manscaped has low-key made me George Janko did Manscaped?
Doesn't surprise me.
Can I say something way too personal?
No. Yeah. No. We're 2.5 hours in. Are you going to regret it? I think there's women here. It's not just a guys only stream.
Okay, you're right.
Come on, somebody.
But honestly, how can I say without saying it?
Good product.
That's all I got to say about that, folks. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us again. Occupied till I come, $22. Bless God, Father's Day sale. BlessGod.shop. And pre-order the new book, God the Ambition. It would really mean the world to me. And I think you guys will be blessed by it. And I'll be back next week. You guys will see some clips come out over the week. But I'll be in Vegas at Ryan Panita's event. Super excited. Hanging out with a bunch of preachers and all that stuff. And it's me and Levi's trip. We are doing a father-son trip. Every year we take a father-son trip. Levi's 10 now. So this is our 4th trip. It's kind of crazy to think about. So I'm super excited to be doing that. I'm grateful that you released that book. It would be an honor to be mentored by you, Ruslan. But this book is the next best thing. Yeah, pick it up, Jeffrey. We're about to give away the first 3 chapters pretty soon here and a pretty dope worksheet for some of you guys. So yeah, blessgod.shop, and then you can go to mygodlyambition.com or Amazon and get the book. And we'll see you guys next week live, but you'll see some clips. All right, peace.